get to the heart of how we engage with information. So if you don't mind, tap the screen, share the live. If you're interested in joining the conversation, go ahead and request up. I'm going to start bringing people in here in just a moment. So please do all the wonderful things. Tap the screen, share the live, and we're going to go ahead and get started here in just one moment. But before we do, you guys know how we do it. Let's go.
This ain't your regular panel. Nah, we speak the truth. Late nights with Santana and Mama Jones watching. Better keep it clean. Let's go. Late nights, truth in the convo. Everybody get a seat at the table. From the block to the books, we mindful. No screaming, just dreams and the Bible. One mic, one voice, we build bridges from the heart of the hood to the world's big issues. Politics, pay, different cultures. But the real ones listen before they rebuttal. Late nights with Santana. Yeah. Mama Jones watching, so keep it grown. Ain't about flexing, this is purpose zone. Santana hold it steady when it might get hot. But we ain't here to fight, we here to connect the dots. Yeah. Late nights with Santana. You already knew. Late nights with Santana. Late nights, no static. No highlight reel, just the soul's reflection. No shade throwing, just connection. From streetwise truths to deep reflections, we turn hard talks into blessings. They say they run a game, we build.
Hello.
Here to heal, uplift, and break the old rules. They kept us boxed in, divided by fear. But you find us lined up when the truth appears. Yeah, weekly topics, hearts wide open, no judgment. Just motion. Real ones are talking, no cussing. Cause Mama Jones still watching, no fronting. Yeah. Late nights with Santana. You already know. Late nights with Santana. Late nights, no static. Yeah. Mama Jones watching, so keep it grown. Ain't about flexing, this a purpose zone. Santana hold it steady when it might get hot. But we ain't here to fight, we here to connect the dots. Mama Jones watching, so keep it grown. Ain't about flexing, this a purpose zone. Santana hold it steady when it might get hot. But we ain't here to fight, we here to connect the dots. Weekly topics, hearts wide open. No judgment, just motion. Real ones are talking, no cussing. Cause Mama Jones still watching, no fronting. Yeah. Late nights with Santana. You already knew. Late nights with Santana.
Guys, welcome in. This is Late Nights with Santana. This is a panel discussion. And this week, we are going through misinformation and disinformation. Misinformation and disinformation is prevalent within our society, and we need to start ensuring that we are fact checking. We need to ensure that we're using credible sources. We need to make sure that we're not headline hoochies or falling for a hive mind. We need to make sure that we're using critical thinking and not making poor decisions. We need to talk about trust earned and trust lost. And last but not least, we got a Mata, make America think again. That's a thing. Anyway, guys, I need everyone here to be active participants. What does that look like? That looks like you guys tapping the screen, sharing the live, sending your daily heart me. Guess what? It's only one coin. It'll boost the live, push us out to the FYP. And last but not least, if you are interested in joining the conversation, go ahead and request up, because here on Late Nights, it is an opportunity for each and every person to join the conversation. Now, before we go too far, before we actually start getting other people up on the panel, I want to introduce my special guest, my co-host for this evening, someone who puts me to shame by far, one of the most intelligent people that I've ever come across, someone who is thoughtful, kind, and insightful in every single way. Guys, Debbie's in the chat for Peach. Hey, Peach, how are you?
Well, first of all, I'm sick of your lies. So there's that. Yeah. Thanks for welcoming me. I'm glad to hang out with you. Thanks for letting me hang out.
Absolutely. Peach. So tonight's focus, while we will be dealing with misinformation and disinformation, we want to cut to the heart of media literacy. So before we start bringing people in, can you kind of set the stage and let people know what the focus of the conversation is going to be and what can they expect in the conversation this evening?
Well, I think for me, when we're talking about media literacy specifically, we definitely need to talk about AI, and we definitely need to talk about fake tweets that are going around. Like the other day when I asked you if we were going to talk about the Drewski Erica Kirk thing that spread all over the internet because of the fake tweets that people were believing was real. And I think that we need to talk about the mechanics of how to fact check information, and specifically how to fact check to see if a video or an article or a post or a tweet is factual and real, not just if somebody said it, but if the information that they are communicating is factual. And I don't think a lot of people have like simple A, B, C mechanics lists to be able to fact check. And I agree with you that we need to make America think again, but I think we need to give people a few directions too. So hopefully that answers the question.
It does. It does. Wonderful, wonderful. Guys, so with that being said, if you are interested in joining the conversation, go ahead and request up. We're going to try to get as many people in here as possible. If you're watching over on YouTube, Twitch, and you want to join the conversation, all you got to do is click that link. You actually don't even have to leave the platform that you're on. All you got to do is click the link and we can bring you in. You'll be able to join the conversation. I'm going to start bringing people up, but as I bring people up, please, guys, please, please, please immediately mute yourself. And then we're going to go around the horn. We're going to do some quick introductions, and then we're going to get into it. But for the other people, if you are not joining the panel, hey, that's fine. Be active participants. Tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me, repost the live. That helps a ton. Reposting the live helps so much. So please, please, please repost the live. And you guys know, supporting live, if you enjoy what we do here on late nights, if you enjoy our space, if you want to keep this thing going, please consider donating. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links and a link to in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. But Peach is here, and mods, can we get Peach pay links running in the poll in the bio all night? Guys, black people labor is not free. It is not. It is not. And if Peach is going to be up here and Peach is going to spend time with us and labor for us, and we need to make sure that we are appreciating Peach, make sure that we're gifting Peach, make sure we are following Peach, and make sure we are hitting Peach's pay links. Do all the wonderful things. All right, we're going to start getting people in here. But again, mute yourself as you come in, please, and thank you. All right. Perfect. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to go around the horn. And I think that we have a question that we have been engaging with for the last couple of nights, the opening question. But I think for tonight, I'm going to switch it up. Jordan, how are you?
I'm good, Santana. How you doing?
Good. Jordan, can you tell the people, have you ever been caught up with an AI deepfake? And is AI out of control?
I don't know, because I don't really interact that much with AI. I try my best to limit my interactions with it for that very reason. But I do think it has definitely gotten out of control to the point where I don't think people can really. You're getting to that point where you kind of feel like a conspiracy theorist, where deep down you're like, I can't fully know if the information I'm seeing is correct. So it's it definitely is getting out of hand.
Got it. All right. Perfect. Give me 1 second. The real BD, I'm just going to call you Real. Is that okay? Real?
Yep, gotcha. Can you hear me?
Yes. All right, Real. How are you this evening?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right, actually. Really love the opportunity to, whether I'm on the panel or even just get to listen to this. I absolutely love the point of your live tonight.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Have you ever been caught up with an AI deep fake, and is AI out of control?
Ooh, I don't believe so. I'd like to say I never really have been caught up with an AI deepfake. At least nothing I took so serious that I ever talked to somebody else about that it turned out to be that way. But I would say, I mean, yes, it is out of control in the sense that it seems like we have no way to obviously regulate and govern it. I love AI being used for funny, goofy shit, but I don't think AI should be used
this is late night. You got to watch the language. Mama Jones is watching.
I'm so sorry. Mom was watching. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I don't think we should be using it for politics and real word of mouth and informational stuff. I think it has its funny, goofy purpose, and that's basically where it should stay.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Give me a second here. Lobo, how are you?
Santana, I'm doing well.
Good. Lobo, can you tell the people? Yeah, you're good, Peach. You know, I'm gonna hold your spot all night, so you're good. Whatever you need to do. Lobo, have you ever been caught up in an AI deepfake? And is AI out of control?
Well, like deepfake, as in like personally, I believe personally, but obviously myself, I've seen plenty of it. Like you can, it's kind of advancing at an alarming rate. I'll keep it brief, but you know, I've been following it for a little bit, and you know, they were talking about how quickly it's advanced from like the Will Smith, like eating the spaghetti, and like they're comparing it through the years, and just how quickly like the technology is coming up, and just, you know, also the side effect of how it's having on the environment. So I actually do think it is coming in at an alarming rate. I think it is a little harmful. It is too soon, too quick.
Okay. I agree. Perfect. Thank you so much. And last but not least, Erica, how are you?
I'm doing well, Santana. How are you?
Wonderful. Erica, have you ever been caught up in an AI deepfake, and is AI out of control?
I don't think I've ever been caught up in a deep fake. As far as, personally, I haven't, but I have seen it happen. And as far as if it's out of control, yes, it is. And I say that with a caveat. I use it for my job a lot. I work in the legal field, so it's tremendously helpful when reviewing, you know, tens of thousands of pages of documents. But on an opposite end of that, as far as, you know, I mean, the legal field is very evidence-based, or the part that I work in. So AI can, you know, obviously, you know, manipulate evidence. So, you know, it can get sticky at that point. So I do think that it has gotten out of control in that aspect.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, guys, we are going to get into the conversation. Like I said, if you're interested in joining the conversation, go ahead and get in the box. I'm going to try to get as many people in here as possible. We're going to rotate people in and out. Myself and Peach. Again, Peach is my co-host. And so I'm going to let Peach actually drive the boat this evening. But we will try to make sure that we have these conversations. We get as many people as possible. But pro tip, there's no line over on YouTube. So if you guys are trying to get up quicker, all you got to do is click that link over on YouTube or Twitch and you get a fast pass. Anywho, Peach. Oh, sorry. Before we get started, just a couple of reminders for the people on the panel. Guys, please use TikTok-friendly language. What do I mean? I mean using words like pew pew, unalive, C19, mustache man, things like that protect not only your TikTok, but it protects the live. And also, guys, please remember, this is a safe and friendly community. What does that mean? That means we don't deal with any of the isms, racism, sexism, classism. We also don't do any of the phobias, homophobia, transphobia, none of that. We don't play that on the panel nor in the chat. Speaking of the chat, caps are for mods. Please don't use caps. Caps will draw my attention away from the panel and to the chat. And we want to make sure that we're able to have this conversation. But I need you guys to be active. Tap the screen, share the live. Let's get the likes up to 50,000 likes. Also, if we can keep knocking out the daily gift goal, it'll boost the live. It'll push us out to the FYP. We have Peach here, so make sure that we are taking care of and appreciating Peach. Make sure we are hitting Peach pay links, which will be in the poll in the bio. Again, mods, can we get the make sure we have the pay links running in the poll? And give Peach a follow. Make sure that we're gifting Peach. And if you want to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat. I will read that out. All right, Peach, starting with you. So I want to give you the floor and let you set the stage because I know media literacy is such a huge thing. And honestly, it goes hand in hand with it being susceptible to misinformation and disinformation. You said something that was super interesting to me. And when you talked about like fake tweets and other things along those lines, but you brought up AI. Peach, I don't know if you saw this, but one of the first things that I saw, I was already like super skeptical of AI because, you know, I've seen iRobot, I've seen The Matrix. I know how this turns out. I know what happens with Age of Ultron. But when they started making those videos of Black women eating fried chicken, and then the videos kept getting more and more and more advanced, because at first you can easily tell that it's AI, right? Because when they started, like they would eat the chicken and their hands would like disappear into their mouth and all this other stuff. And it started getting more and more and more advanced. And I was like, okay, this is going to be a problem for Black people, because not only are Black people marginalized in multiple ways and targeted and things like that, but now they have the ability to fabricate possible information, distort reality, and people are just going to be willing to believe it. So Peach, can you talk about the dangers of things like that? And then again, anywhere else that you would like to go?
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know if you've been keeping up with that, but I find it really interesting that it has sort of escalated from just what would be like offensive stereotypes to AI videos of Black people committing crimes or attempting crimes and things like that, that are engaging in those like really dangerous stereotypes about our community. And I think the opportune thing, the thing I would say that to communicate to everybody how serious this is Black folks, Black American folks, we have a saying, we say a lie don't care who tell it. Mm-hmm. Just so that we can refer to how fast a rumor spreads. And so when I am talking to people about the importance of figuring out where you're getting your information from and if it's accurate, talking about media literacy and things like that, one of the most important reasons to me for talking about that is because as human beings, we are susceptible to propaganda, whether it's a positive or negative propaganda. We're just easily susceptible to it. And so I have tons of books and I can absolutely recommend them to anybody. If you guys are interested in learning about American propaganda, but America has been doing a version of what AI is doing since the very beginning. And we have had to deal with it over and over again. And we've watched ourselves get taken down this road because we are either unable or unwilling to go do the extra footwork to double check before we spread the information. So like today, were you aware of the Supreme Court decision today about Colorado? Yes. I saw that. I put it on my list to talk about. Put it on my list to talk about it in the morning on sparring. But 8-1 decision. Yeah, and it was heartbreaking to hear about, right? And at first I was just like, oh my gosh, we just can't be safe, the LGBTQIA+ community. Like, can they leave us alone? Mm-hmm. And so, of course, everyone's immediately reacting because the lie doesn't care who tells it. Mm-hmm. But then if you did the extra footwork, you would find out that the ruling only applied to this one therapist in one situation. It was not applied to the whole state of Colorado. It was not applied to every therapist. It was not applied across the country. It was just to this one person. And so not saying that today's ruling was great, saying that we need to make sure we are looking for all complexities before we panic so that we have enough I guess, energy and fuel and focus to actually fix the problem. And I think that's one thing that media literacy can give us, the ability to focus. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, it goes to the point that I've been stating as far as like being a quote unquote headline hoochie, right? In the sense that it's the things that catch our attention, because a lot of people aren't going to do that extra legwork and they're not going to dig as deep. And I think certain people count on that, right? They count on people being unwilling to actually figure things out for themselves because they're so used to everything being microwave, spoon-fed, and they just assume that whatever's on the surface is what they have to engage with.
Yeah, I fully agree. And I think like as my degrees are in literature, and so I do know the value of writing an attention grabbing title or headline, and that's part of what grabs people and gets them to do what we really want them to do, which is get to the article or the social media, and somebody says, "Oh, you can tell who didn't read the article because there's only a few people who actually know what it says." And so I think it's really important for us to start there. Like you can, I don't want to give the impression to people that you need to have like an undergrad or a graduate degree in research to be able to find accurate information. Sometimes it is just as simple as opening your browser and going to read the entire article yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, let's start to rep people into these conversations, because I want to understand the level of media literacy that the people on the panel have. And just Jen, I'm going to start with you. What level, if you would have to, I guess, quantify your level of media literacy, where do you think you are, and what do you do on a daily basis to make sure that you aren't getting caught up in headlines or just misinformation or disinformation in general?
Yeah, so I definitely think that with media literacy, I could definitely always be, better. But I did have, like courses in both high school and college that, talked about different like types of, I guess you can say, like tricks that are used in advertising, to like subliminal messaging, those type of things. Now they didn't go like, super in depth. They were kind of like elective courses. But I did take those. So I have a pretty decent understanding. And like I said, I can definitely, improve on that. And as far as what I do on a day-to-day basis, I usually, because I'm going to be honest with it, and I'm not ashamed to say, I get introduced to a lot of information through TikTok, but once I'm introduced to that information, then I go and, look into it. So if, like, say, for example, I'm listening to a political debate like yours, and I hear you mention something, then I'm like, okay, that's something I hadn't heard about. So let me go look into it and see what that's about. And I usually try to check 2 or 3 sources before I get to kind of see what are some commonalities that people are reporting on when it comes to this. That way I can get a better understanding of what the general story is.
Yeah. I think that's always good to, fact check not only the sources that you think are credible, but to keep yourself and keep other people honest, right?
Yeah.
One thing that I appreciate is like when I am live, I have a team of people who have the ability to contact me and let me know if there's anything that I'm saying wrong. And we all know Kale let me know if I'm wrong. But there are definitely people who keep me honest and keep me in line when it comes to the information that I'm putting out. And I think I have a responsibility to do so. Jordan, a follow-up question. have you ever found yourself engaging in a space or place or with, you know, people, and you've learned that they don't hold that same level of media literacy or even media integrity, and you've had to make the decision just to remove yourself?
Oh, yes. Because I spend a lot of my time watching political debates here on TikTok, it inspires me to go into MAGA spaces and, you know, just debate them to try to have, you know, try to introduce conversation and, you know, hopefully try to, you know, if I don't change someone's mind, at least like the goal is to have them learn something from me and I learn something from them. Like that's always my main goal. And just recently, I was in a live and they asked me, I won't give any names or anything, but we were talking about political violence amongst the political sides. And one of them, I brought up the Cato Institute and their comprehensive study about, you know, the prevalence of political violence and which way it's skewed. And one person legitimately said to me, "Oh, the Cato Institute, that's a college. It's indoctrination." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like it's like the Cato Institute is not a college. What are we actually doing here?" And I couldn't even like I realized right then and there, like, you know, when you get to a point in a conversation where you're like, this actually isn't going to go anywhere, and I'm only going to be like disturbing my own peace if I like continue. So let me go. So that's basically what I ended up doing. Yeah, I've definitely been in those spaces before.
Okay. Perfect. Peach, what do you think? I mean, is that something that people need to be aware of and ensure that like the spaces or the people that they're engaging with is engaging in earnest? Because like, I think that not only do people have a lack of understanding at time, but some people just don't want to engage in media literacy because, to Jordan's point, you know, that's college, that's indoctrination.
Yeah, and there's also a huge contingent of this that we haven't yet addressed, that there are people who are monetizing mis and disinformation, right? And so I think that to Jordan's point and to yours about like concretely separating yourself from people who are committed to not fact checking and they're committed to just knee-jerk reacting to make sure they're the first one to post it, or, you know, they have the hottest new take or whatever. That's going to be necessary for us going forward in the future, because it's only going to continue to get worse as like our global climate changes and everything's going on internationally, where we have to commit ourselves to just say, because like for example, I really enjoy Joy Reid, the news analyst. I truly enjoy her, but her social media team isn't great about fact checking. And so in the past year, I think 6 different times she's had posted something on her social media that actually was inaccurate. And then it's like 2 days before it's removed. And so I just had to, I mean, I didn't let it upset me, of course, but I just unfollowed the page and I muted it so that I don't get caught up accidentally in misinformation and then go spread it and spread the harm that comes from misinformation. Because I think one of the other things also that I would love to hear from anybody else on the panel, if they've had this experience or what they think about it, but I know that having your brain try to filter through mis and disinformation, deep fakes, AI fakes, slop, all of that. At a certain point, your brain gets overwhelmed and you get tired. And so you just don't believe anything, even the things that are true, even the things that you need to believe. You just quit, I think, out of burnout. And so that's always something that I want to talk to people about as well, as just taking care of themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? That's a great question. That's we'll get that question to Real. But Real, before you go, Peach, really quick, I was asked on the back end to see your Cash App. Is that Peach Loves, PeechLoves? Is that accurate?
No, my Venmo is Peach Loves, and my Cash App is actually Peach.
Okay. Can you
Yeah.
drop that in the chat? So Venmo is the
Yeah.
Peach Loves, and Cash App is just Peach. We just want to make sure that we have the right information for you. I think people are trying to show you some love. Guys, make sure that we're showing Peach some love. Real, coming to you to follow up on Peach's question. Have you experienced that burnout from having to like go through the drugs of AI slop through misinformation, disinformation? You see one tweet after the next tweet after the next tweet, where it's just so much that you like, that's not right. So you get to the point where you kind of hit a wall and you just want to stop engaging.
Bro, for real sometimes. It is it's a little bit tough, especially because I would say I get a lot of my news from TikTok. Now, a lot of times I'm watching, BBC, Al Jazeera, CNN live. So it's not like a content creator's version of the news or they're reporting on it. But at the same time, I mean, sometimes it just gets impossible to not have that filter of, holy cow, I just saw something, and like that would be crazy if it's true. But now I need to go spend 10, 15, 20 minutes on my own deciding whether or not it is. And I don't know, it's a crapshoot on whether or not it is. And to be honest, sometimes now there are certain things that get even harder as you get down the rabbit hole. The more slop and the more disinformation there is on the other end. I love when people can bring up something that's super easy about, for example, women being better surgeons than men. Something that you type into Google, and Google won't even give you a devil's advocate position on that. But once you start to get the condensed amount of, again, slop and stuff that's out there, it gets really hard to then verify each source individually beyond that.
Yeah. Have you ever had to try to break your algorithm out of that? Like, I don't know
Yes.
about you guys, but I've had to reset my algorithm. How do you go about doing that?
So initially, I've done it probably 2 or 3 times, and I would equate it to like when you have to get a new cell phone, and you can't just instantly update it to be the same backdrop, the same way you had your app set up, the same everything. And it takes like 3 days to get it all put the way you want it. But I mean, for me, I've done it by creating a new account. I've done it by literally erasing all my preferences, my likes, my everything else, deleting all my videos, my reposts. I've tried it a couple of different ways, and I really don't find there is any good way to do it other than you just now have to spend the next few days dealing with even more shit that you didn't want just to try and find
language.
Oh, sorry,
Mama.
Sorry, Mama. I'm so sorry, Mama. The last time, I promise. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Peach, is that so? Tell me, maybe it's just me, right? Maybe I have a sense of hubris, but I think that at times I have to reset my algorithm, and I start to and maybe I'm just off, right? But I do things like I'm very intentional with the things that I engage with. I'm very intentional with the wording that I use when I'm searching for stuff, and even on TikTok. I won't like videos. I've been very, very purposeful as far as any social media, things like that I engage with. I don't watch, repost anything that's AI because I don't want that flooding my timelines. But is that like an actual thing, or is that just my hubris?
No, that's an actual thing. So there are many ways to affect your algorithm, because basically algorithms are siloing us into our own little bubble, and every or prompt or encouragement that we give it, it's just going to flood us with more of that. So I do want you to know that if you are trying to stay away from AI videos while you're scrolling, you guys, if you see it and you notice, okay, this is AI, the quicker you can get away from that, the better off you're going to be, because YouTube, TikTok, IG, Facebook, all of those that have reels, it actually tracks how many seconds that thing is on your screen. And so if it's on your screen for a longer amount of time, it's like, oh, maybe you will want to see more of this. So I do tell people that you can empty your cache. You can delete any saved data on your device. If you are very serious, you can factory reset your device. Depending upon if you have an Android or an iPhone, you can search on YouTube to find the developer options in your device that may help you be able to not let so many cookies or so much data be saved on your phone. And the other thing that you can do as well is you can poison your algorithm from time to time. So for me, if I start seeing something that I do not want to see, I will intentionally go and search for a brand of something that I know that I quite like that brand. So let's just say I'm going to search for Christian Louboutins, right? I'm not going to buy a $6,000 pair of boots, but as soon as I go look it up, I know that that is going to share with every device I own because they're all on the same Wi-Fi. And so for the next 2 weeks, that's all I'm going to see is those ads of like luxury shoes and bags and things like that, which is making less room for the algorithm to push what it thinks I want when I've given it a direction in which to go. And so that may help you. And I really appreciate Real talking about the extra effort that it takes. Because I really think that's something we miss out on too, is we have to encourage each other that like to not get trapped in this silo of the algorithm and AI, you are going to have to take the extra time, but that's okay because you deserve the extra time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Peach, you said something, you did it. And now I got a question, and forgive me, but
not the Tim. If you put that hat on, I knew he was going to put that hat on, honey. I said, if he put that hat on, I knew he was going to put that hat on.
Okay, so Peach, big brother, right?
Yeah.
There's been so many times when I'm just sitting around and I start talking about something, right? And the next thing I know, I scroll on the social medias, and the stuff that I was talking about is there. Or I'll do a Google search for something. I'm looking this up, right? And now everywhere I go, it's showing up. And Instagram is really bad about it. And so I'm just like, oh, that's Big Brother, listen to me. And what's that about?
I think it would be an interesting adventure for all of us to have. And if someone else is talking, I will go on mute and search it up myself. But I want you to know, first and foremost, you don't need your tinfoil hat for this, because several very large tech companies have been sued.
Okay.
Several very large tech companies have been sued because it's come to light that their autonomous devices like Alexa, like Siri, like Bixby are listening and recording even when people have said that they do not want that information recorded. There's also developer options on Android specifically to counteract that, where you can turn the sensors off on your phone so that nothing can pick up your camera or your microphone unless you want it to. And then we also know, and this is a bit of critical thinking that I'm doing. Now, I'm going to go on mute, of course, when we're done, and I'm going to look all this stuff up, and I'll be able to give you guys some links and stuff to support my arguments. But for right now, I'm just using critical thinking to arrive at this consideration.
Yeah.
Santana, does your live ever pop up and it says AI summary, host is talking about X, Y, and Z? Does it ever do that for you?
One time someone sent me a screenshot, and one time it said, what did it say? It said couch advocate who talks about racial issues to stir up controversy or something like it. It read me down real bad, like all kind of slander.
You're like, that's not true.
Yeah.
But the reason I bring that up, and I'm sure anybody in here who's hosted a live, you've seen it as well. And so using critical thinking, I can say that TikTok does have an AI that's actively listening to every single word we say, and is parsing the words we say to give a summary. So it is not out of left field to consider that they may have tools that can use and understand the words that we're saying. I do also want to say that, so say you're talking about Tide Pods, and all of a sudden the next day you're online and you see nothing but Tide Pods popping up. You can put your tinfoil hat on if you want to, but you also have to understand it depends on how many devices you have. It depends on where you went, what Wi-Fi you connected to, what was on your last shopping list, because we know Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, all of those places, and even Kroger and Walmart have been linked to it recently, is tracking your previous purchases and encouraging you in a particular amount of time to repurchase that item and keeping track of how much you were willing to pay for it so that they can tailor a price specifically to you. That's you don't need a tinfoil hat. It's real.
Yeah,
it's real.
Yeah. Okay. Lobo, coming to you. Have you noticed those type of interactions, and what do you do in those situations? Because again, I think that it's more prevalent the more ingrained we become with technology, and the more AI starts to it be integrated into the different things that we do. Have you noticed that, and how are you fighting back, or are you just letting it, wash over you?
Man. Well, first off, it's unfortunate. I was about to bust out the aluminum foil. I don't know if you can hear it.
I hear it.
Yeah.
Peach said put it away though. So,
but I know I gotta stick to the actual factuals.
Hey,
But no, yes, it's literally everything that you guys were talking about. I've either had happen, or I've noticed, or I've me and my girlfriend personally noticed, and we're just like, that's mighty odd. Not there's a little chip in there just listening to everything that we're doing or anything. I mentioned Febreze or something like that, and now it's telling me all 30 different ways I could make my house smell nice. And I guess in a way it is kind of just looking at exploring the back doors of everything. And exploring how she was also talking about the privacy settings for certain things for certain devices, and little loopholes that they don't tell you about up front, because it's only they want to have that so-called legal loop way to get to the consumer, what the consumer really wants to kind of foretell it. And that's kind of how I see it and everything. And so whenever I see ads or anything pop up, unless it's something that I actually have I'm gonna have an interest for, I usually just I'm gonna avoid this. I'm just gonna skip, do this, do whatever I can just to kind of pass it out or ignore it. And obviously, you'll be on YouTube, you can't ignore it. They put it right in your face. Oh, new bag on sale, or new computer ready to go out and everything. I was just it's not I was just mentioning, a new computer the other day. Now, HP got the newest thing coming out. Yeah. So I do feel it is kind of they're a little people should study more into it and everything, and do the steps of misinformation, going through misinformation, disinformation, just really making sure that their privacy is as private as they can. Because I do try to my best.
Yeah, I think that's super important. Peach, is privacy because I know that for a long time people were unwilling to share anything, right? Black people don't even engage in the census because, hey, we're not trying to give out our information. But now it seems that we live in a time and age where people are willingly throwing away their privacy. And I'm not going to lie, I feel I've lived through so many data breaches that it doesn't even matter anymore. Am I tripping, or what do you think?
I've gotten to that point as well. I can't. When was the last Experian hack? And they were very casual about it, telling people it's it's just 100,000 social security numbers or some gigantic number, and I feel we've gotten to a point where again we're approaching a type of burnout with thinking about how our data is stored, and the fact that we really have given tech companies so much power over our data. that we can't do much about it. There's only so much that you can do to battle what's available as far as personally identifying information goes. And so again, it's about just going that extra step, because it's a lot, and your health information is at risk. And then we know about, the allegations regarding Doge and our social security and all of that as well. And at a certain point, I think people just kind of feel like giving up. But I hope that people don't. If you are, if any of you like documentaries, I would suggest that you find a documentary called The Great Hack. And it's actually about election interference in 2016, so it's a bit old. But the thing there is that they did a really deep dive into personally identifying information and how much of our data is saved with these companies. And they are reselling it to people without our knowledge, without our consent. And they don't even really need to ask because it's not illegal. And so I think it comes to a point with mis and disinformation and identity theft and all of these things that at a certain point we're going to have to force our governments to regulate, or we're going to have to force companies to live under new regulations that protect us. I did say that I thought when January 2025 rolled around, I was like, man, if they ever fix this, they're going to have to give us all brand new social security numbers. I was absolutely wearing a tinfoil hat.
I'll take a new one. Hey, if they want to give me a new one, I'll memorize it, because I got some stuff that I'm trying to get on credit. I'll do it. No. All right. Erica, coming to you. What Peach and I were saying, do you think that it's overreach as far as what we're worried about? Or do you think it is time for us to start to talk more about this and demand more privacy from tech companies and demand that the government steps in and protect the American citizens?
I think both. Trying to collect my thoughts here a little bit, even though I've had the last 10 minutes to do that. I think that some of it is harmless. If you're not doing anything wrong, what's the big deal type of thing. At least that's how my mind works, just because I live a pretty low risk life. I don't do much, so I don't personally worry about it, but I could definitely see where, others would be concerned that tech companies are, taking advantage of us as far as, something as simple as turning the location on your phone to use Google Maps or something like that.
Yeah.
You want to turn it on really quick just so you can get where you're going, and then you may forget to shut it off later.
Mm-hmm.
So for that reason, I think that, tech companies need to start stepping up and giving more options for us to be more cognizant and conscious about, what permissions we're allowing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would be a big issue for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I think that there's a lot to that. And the reason why I threw that question at you, Erica, it's kind of a trick question, because chat, we're cooked. And when I say we're cooked, the reason why I brought up the big tech companies and the government is because technocrats run our government. I'm going to play something, and I'm going to have you guys respond to it on the panel. And after I get you guys to respond to it, everyone except Peach, of course, I'm going to swap you out, and we're going to start getting some new people in here. So I'm going to play something for everyone in just a moment. I'm going to have you respond to it. But first, really quickly, guys, Debbie's in the chat for Jared. Jared sent a $1 donation saying, been thinking about those parallel universes and wondering if there's one out there where I'm buff and become a pro wrestler like I wanted in middle school. I bet there is. W's in the chat for Wiggin, who sent a $1.99 super chat to say, can I join and tell a joke? I think you'll like it. If it's a dad joke, no. I don't like dad jokes. W's in the chat for Sharon. Sharon sent a $9.99 super chat to say, just some love for the live. Sharon, you are absolutely amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, W's in the chat for all the donos. If you'd like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. It's the best way to support the live. If you enjoy what we do here on late nights, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. But guys, we have Peach. Peach is here doing heavy lifting for us this evening. Peach is my special co-host. Make sure that we are showing Peach love. Make sure we're following Peach, right? Make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure that we are also gifting Peach, and make sure that you're hitting Peach's pay links. The Cash App and the Venmo are running in the poll. Go check that out. Send Peach some love. Peach loves books, right? Send her some money, get her some books, right? I heard somewhere that not only does Petty love sardines and mochi, but Peach loves sardine and mochi as well. So, you know, hook Peach up with it. Anyway, I'm going to play something for you guys really quick. And I want to get your thoughts on it. And we're going to go down the panel, and I'm going to have you guys react one at a time and tell me if you're willing to engage with this. Where is it? Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure that I thought it was here. 2 seconds. As I get this up here, just a quick reminder, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. If you are interested in joining the conversation, go ahead and request up, because we're going to ensure that we are getting everyone in here. So in just a few moments, like I said, we're going to be bringing new people in. And if you're interested in actually adding your opinion to the conversation, then go ahead and request up. We're going to cycle people in. Also, guys, can we knock out the donuts? Please. That's the gift goal right now. Can we please knock out the donuts? I apologize about that, guys. I thought that I already had the video that I wanted to play loaded on my phone. I'm sorry, on the laptop, and I just realized I never transferred it off my phone. We are getting ready to pull that up in just a boom moment. Okay, so now it's on the laptop. I'm going to open it up, and Erica, be prepared, because I'm coming to you first.
I'm pleased to announce that my administration is launching a brand new official White House app, giving front row access to all news from your favorite president, Donald J. Trump. That's me. It's available today on the Apple and Android app stores. You can watch all White House events, read all my executive orders, and keep track of all of our promises made, promises kept. That was a phrase that I used during the campaign, and it's very true. In fact, I actually kept more promises than I even talked about. We did much more than I said we were going to do. Every American should expect their government to have transparency, and the Trump administration is the most transparent in history. That is for sure. No one knew that Sleepy Joe Biden was doing. We had no idea what that guy was doing. The good news is he had no idea either. But my administration is inviting all Americans to join us on this mission to make America great again. I believe it has to be the most important, powerful phrase in the history of politics. Make America great again. And we have made America great again. Now we want to keep it great. So download the new White House app today. Thank you very much. You have done a great job. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, so when I first heard that, the first thing that I thought, literally the first thing, what in the world is showing? The first thing that popped into my head was, oh, that's fake. Oh, that's a deep fake. That's not real. That there's no way in the world that they made an actual White House app, right? There's a video to go with that for everyone, right? I mean, we didn't get to see the video, but it was a video. And I was like, oh, that's a fake video of Donald Trump, because there's no way in the world that can be real. Surprise, mother sucker. Yeah. Yeah, it's real. This is the whitehouse.com, and it talks about their new White House app. Right? So, look at this. Erica, coming to you first.
Okay.
Are you downloading the White House app? Why or why not?
Not a chance. His voice makes my skin crawl. No, absolutely not. I wouldn't trust it. I mean, just in general, I wouldn't. No, I would not.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't say enough negative things, or about that idea. Plus, I thought it was AI because it was coherent. So
it was. They absolutely use AI to touch up the video. They sped it up.
Yeah.
You can tell if you look at the video. You can tell they've been doing that a lot. But okay, all right. Well, Erica, thank you so much for coming up and hanging out with us tonight. I'm going to drop you down. Okay.
Thanks, Santana.
Thank you. Guys. Have a good one. Lobo, are you downloading the new White House app? Why or why not?
There's about a million reasons why I could tell you why not. And the first one is that Rick and Morty, South Park, Muppet very much skit that we just heard right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like, I think since the last time that I was on the panel, like I told you, I feel like we fell into an alternate dimension, alternate timeline, something. Yeah, this is it. No. And not only am I gonna tell you no, I'm gonna tell everybody else no. I'm gonna tell everybody's mama no. And I'm gonna tell everybody's next generation no. We got no. If your information's already getting leaked right now, but with every other device and every other app, you think the White House app is gonna not leak your information?
Yeah, they can't even keep the signal chats safe. So but yeah. All right, Lobo, thank you so much for coming up. I'm going to drop you down. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Have a good one.
You as well. Real, are you downloading the White House app? Yes or no?
Easy, no. I'm so sorry. Easy, no. And I mean, I can elaborate on that left and right.
Oh, you might have gotten a call. Mm-hmm.
I was turning my headphones off. I didn't want to be talking to you through my headphones.
Okay.
But no, that's a real easy no. And I mean, I'm former 35 Mike with the U.S. Army, and as an intelligence guy, the day signal came out, bro, I'm telling you, I was like, man, if I was the NSA and I just wanted to look at all the nefarious shit, like I would market this stuff. I would market this.
You got to go anyway now, because holy smokes. Go ahead and finish. I'm sorry.
All right, no, and you know what, Santana, the one last thing that I'll jump on, and then I will agree to the admonishment. I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Not to get off topic whatsoever for more than just a second, but I messaged you last week about trying to flip Montana, and I was actually looking into it a lot more too.
Yeah.
And I really want to develop like a playbook. For I know small market red states, we might only count for a couple points here and there, but you get 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 of us added up, and all of a sudden we're equal to like a Michigan or an Ohio or something like that.
Yeah. Listen, do this, because I went back to try to find you and I couldn't find the message. I get like a whole bunch of stuff.
I bet. Good.
shoot an email, send it to, if you check the link in my bio, Kay, that's my platform director. She, her email is in my link tree. Send an email, because I wanted to get back to you about that, but I'm super interested in that, because I think there's some options.
And like I looked into it, and like since in the 2000s, we haven't had a single blue representative in the Senate yet. But in the 1900s, I mean, we were split even, 13 blue, 13 red, with one different politic. But it's a state and we went blue in 08 in the general. Like we can, and I think we're ready to, and I think a lot of others are. And I would love to like hit the ground on a playbook where it doesn't really mean anything if one little state flips that only has 2 seats. But if we can get 4 or 5 or 6 of them in the same year, all of a sudden that can determine an electoral college.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, like I said, shoot that email, and yeah, we can work together. I appreciate you coming up.
If you ever let me alive again, man, I promise 100%.
Listen, you got the language for sparring. You got to keep it. My mama watching. No, I appreciate you coming up.
I apologize to the mama, man. Thank you, Santana.
Have a good one.
You too.
Jordan, are you downloading the White House app? Why or why not?
Absolutely not. I'm trying to keep my language coded for Mama Jones. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. But when I think of why not, like one, I already don't see like the utility of it, because if the whole thing is supposed to be like reading his executive orders, tracking what he's doing in what he's doing in the White House, like I already have like whitehouse.gov already like has all the executive orders so you can read them. And I already have different apps that kind of track legislation for me, and I get like, email summaries. So like it just is useless for me. But not only that, I see that as a beacon for, certain like cookies and things to be implemented on my device in order to like, track what I do, track what I listen to, and, respond accordingly. And not gonna lie, it wouldn't surprise me if interaction with that app wasn't used to manufacture polls that work in Trump's favor.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Jordan, thank you so much for coming up and hanging out with us this evening.
Yeah. Thanks, Santana.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, guys, we're going to start getting more people in here to join the conversation. So if you're interested in joining, go ahead and request up. We're going to get people in here in just one moment. But before we do, Peach, how's that White House app working out for you?
I will not be having anything to do with that. And while you all were talking, I was so glad to hear everyone say no. But for those of you who still don't know all the information about the new app, you can just open your browser and search for White House app privacy concerns.
Yep.
Or you can go to CNET, you can go to Mashable. I'm looking at the results right now. You can go to Atomic Computer. There are tons of people who've already downloaded this app, and they're already figuring out all of the concerns, like the fact that it's constantly tracking your location, it's saving your biometric data that it can, it's saving your user behavior. Like there's extensive data collection inside this app. It's basically just you letting them move into your house. And so if you were on the fence about getting this app, please at least go read CNET or Mashable, or I really enjoy Wired as well. I know a lot of people are kind of on the fence about Wired, but I enjoy them. I know the Post, and I know our legacy media is really up for discussion right now, but the Post also has a story up on it, and I believe the Times is working on one right now, just talking about exactly how much of your privacy you're giving up to download the app. So, yeah.
Yeah. Listen, Peach, when I tell you that's exactly where I was going, people have been going off about the amount of unfettered access apparently this app is giving them. So it's a big, massive no. Don't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Don't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Peach, you're too good at this. Like, you literally stole my thunder. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, all good. That's exactly where I was going with it. That's absolutely it. W's in the chat for Peach, guys. Also, W's in the chat for Ross. Ross sent a $1 donation saying, line for line, what the White House app does. And then it's just blank. It's just blank. Ross, just W's in the chat for Ross for that $1 donation. W's in the chat as well for Susan for the $10 donation saying thank you, Susan. W's in the chat for the donos, guys. If you'd like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. It's the best way to support the live. If you enjoy what we do here on late nights, please consider donating. And guys, show Peach some love. Peach, has anyone sent anything? Because I haven't heard you say thank you yet.
Oh gosh, I have to go check. I'll be right back.
Okay, while Peach is checking their pay links, guys, don't embarrass me. Do the things. Like, if I have to bully you guys to be nice to Peach, I will bully you guys to be nice to Peach. Do it. Freaking do it, guys. Hit the pay links. Her Cash App and Venmo are in the poll in the bio. Show Peach some love, or I'll turn all of this off right now. As a matter of fact, if you don't do it, I will download the White House app on all of your phones remotely. I can do it. I see that you're watching the live. I will send it to your phone. I will send the White House app to your phone.
So silly. Yeah, thank you, April, for April sent me a $25 gift. So thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. So I tell people all the time in my space, any gifts that I get or coins or anything like that, I save them up so that I can afford having diabetes, because I have diabetes. So your coins and your gifts and your sweet thoughts will absolutely go to a place of helping me take care of my ailing pancreas. So thank you.
Absolutely, guys. Even more of a reason to show Peach some love. And Peach, I apologize. Peach is they, them, and I apologize, Peach.
Oh, no. Any pronouns are fine for me. I'm what's called gender apathetic. So I actually don't care. It's how other people are comfortable with referencing me. So it can be she, her, they, them, he, him. It's easier. Doesn't matter to me. I'm fine. Thank you, Belle,
I'm gonna just
caring.
call you Peach because you my Peach. All right, we're gonna start getting more people in here. We have Will over on YouTube. Will, you know, I'm gonna get you in here because you had your camera on earlier and you turned it off. I don't know if you want to be on camera, but you can be. But I'm gonna make sure I put you up here so you have a spot as well. Let's get a couple of people in here. Again, guys, I'm going to try to get as many people as I can in so we can have this conversation. Let's see here. Let's get one more person over on the TikTok. Boom. All right, guys, as we come up, please mute yourself. And then let's put Will over on the screen so Will isn't left out. And just got to do this really quick. And we'll put Will up here. All right. All right, Will, I am sending you a request to come off mute, and we're going to start with you. Hi, Will. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. How are you from?
And I mute you. Will, sorry, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. Will, Dr. AM, can you please stay on mute? I'll let you know when it's your turn to come off and speak. Will, are you downloading the White House app? Yes or no?
Oh, Lord, no.
Why not?
I don't need all of that tracking in one app on my phone from the government.
Okay. Perfect. Dr. AM, how are you? Dr. AM.
How are you? كيف حالك؟ السلام عليكم. from غزة. أنا من غزة أخوي. أنا من غزة. الله يكرمك يا رب. لو في مجال
Sorry. Ember, how are you?
Hello, I'm very good. How are you?
Good. Ember, are you downloading the White House app? Why or why not?
Well, Santana, quite frankly, I will not be. No, I'm not downloading the app. Absolutely not. I would rather peel my eyelids back.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Give me a second here. Abraham, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
Good. Abraham, are you downloading the White House app? Yes or no, and why not?
No, for a couple reasons. Trump has been able to steal a crowd just through his showmanship. And this is just a direct source for the MAGA society or the community to be able to listen to more lies, more opportunities for them to be drawn in. And I think it's a trap. But then at the same time, it's going to compromise your security, your information. I mean, I like my privacy, like you said before.
Yeah. Okay. All right. 1 second. Melissa, how are you? Oh, Melissa, I am going to send your request to come off mute.
There we go.
Hi, Melissa. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, guys.
Good. Melissa, are you downloading the White House app? Why or why not?
No. Why would anybody?
Yeah, I think
that's ridiculous. I didn't even know there was an app.
Yeah. It's a couple of days old. They just came out with it, but I think that's the right response. All right, perfect. Give me a moment. And last but not least, Swan. So I know that first and foremost, Swan, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Swan, so I know that you're the one that told me all about the White House app, right? Because I know, like, you reached out and you're like, hey, Santana, this is the best thing since sliced bread is hot as fish grease right now, and you need to get on it, right? And I was like, Swan, I don't know. That sounds a little dangerous. And he was like, no, just trust me, bro. I am the source. And I said, Swan, I'm not sure if I want to download this app, but you were trying to convince me. So I just wanted to know, how has that app been working out for you since you downloaded it on your phone? I know you said that it made it overheat, but is everything else okay?
I'll have you know, both of my attorneys will be entering the chat shortly. I also do have a judge and a stenographer, so be on the lookout. We'll be recording this entire conversation. Now the overheating part, I'll plead the fifth on that.
You got to slide a little bit of truth in there, to make it seem plausible.
The overheating part, that was top tier.
Swan, a different question for you overall, though. What do you think about that app? Like, what do you think the purpose is?
I think the app is extremely problematic, and not just with them having access to people's phones, because I think that there's other ways that they have access to our information as well. But I think for me, and this is something that like really hit me once we saw certain changes that were made within his administration, and then Joe Kent's resignation letter. It said echo chamber in the resignation letter, and that is what he's trying to create, right? This is why, oh yeah, my attorney's in the chat now, I also am. This is why it's so like difficult to like have these certain discussions with MAGA supporters, because they've been able to place themselves in these spaces. So like the app is going to do the same thing, where it's just they're being overloaded with whatever it is that him and his administration want to convince people of. So I think that that's another issue with it too, is that echo chamber type of environment that he needs in order to thrive, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That absolutely does make sense. That makes sense. This doesn't. This right here, this doesn't make any sense. I'm a little confused. Mods, can we ban this person? I don't know what's happening right now. But somebody take care of this person. Get them up out the paint. You can't hate from outside the club. All right, Peach, coming back to you. Now, while the actual app might be something that it's an obvious like red flag, I don't think things are as obvious as that, right? I think that a lot of times people are more trusting. They aren't as aware. There was someone in the chat that was like, "Well, I bet you if Obama had an app, y'all would download it." First of all, you know, you can go kick rocks with open toe shoes, but like to that point in general, there are certain things that are built to do the same thing, but people are either more trusting or they just don't get it. How do we fight those types of things?
For me, and I am glad to listen to anybody else's input as well, but for me, I always start by talking about American history with people like that. Because, so for example, I was just put in the chat that there is an affordability tab in that app that tells people the cost of milk and eggs, so and gasoline and things like that, to keep people thinking that you know, it's making America great, it's making America better. And so I wanted to just really quick grab a book recommendation that I tell everybody to read. I tell people to read this all the time. So America's first propaganda ministry was in the late 1800s. And we also, the reason that the first propaganda ministry in America folded was because of misinformation and disinformation, because the gentleman who was running it found out that he could just say anything, right? Now, between the closing of the first propaganda ministry and the Second World War, Germany also figured out that how well propaganda worked on a large group of people, because they were unable to check with each other, and rumors and misinformation and disinformation would spread faster than accurate information, and that generally speaking, people wouldn't care. So the book that I'm talking about is called Soldiers of the Pen. It's by Thomas Howell. I will tell you that it's a very academic read and it's a very dry read, but it's such a wonderful picture of exactly how much propaganda we have to sift through every day in America, that it's just part of how we it's part of how we navigate our everyday life, and it has always been. And so talking to people about that and showing them like documented history that this is part of our cultural zeitgeist here in this country, it often will allow people, like through that shock, to say, okay, but what do I want to do about that for myself now? Do I want to be so susceptible to propaganda that I'm not going to learn anything at all? Or do I want to try to give myself a better shot? And I encourage people to give themselves a better shot. Everything that we see is propaganda, to the point of like, if I promise I'm going to end. I'm not going to talk forever. But I just want to share this quick
Peach, you're the co-host. Don't nobody care about that. This is your live.
Oh.
They listen. They try to tell me all the time that I talk too much. I'm like, how I talk too much on my live? That's what management tell me, but whatever. Peach, this is your show.
Okay. So in Soldiers of the Pen, Howell is writing about the Writers' War Board. It was established in December 1941. And the interesting part, so this is at the very beginning of the book, if you guys want to grab it. It's on page 2. Howell writes, from 1942 to 1945, the Writers' War Board members volunteered their services without compensation, and they and their cadre of writers produced subtle and blatant propaganda in virtually every format. That includes speeches, magazine and newspaper articles, editorials, plays, radio programs, songs, poems, short stories, films, books, pamphlets, posters, cartoons, and comic books, which is how I ended up getting to know this book in the first place, because that's what my degree is in comics and visual language. And so I read that quote to you because I want you all to know how deeply embedded mis and disinformation is in our everyday life. Like all the Marvel movies that we all love so much, they have to get that checked out with the DOJ and the DOD to be able to put that out. And any military or like the helicopters you see sometimes, or military outfits or things like that, they have to check with our government to see if that's okay and get approval, because it's propaganda. It's just part of our lives. And so I think when we commit ourselves to understanding that that's going to be a huge part of the information that we receive every day, and just making sure to take it slow and commit yourself to doing some fact checking, I think that makes a huge difference too.
Absolutely, absolutely. Really quick, I want to call these out. W's in chat for Mr. and Mrs. Torres, who said, "Hey Gramps, you keep playing in my face. You know what? I'm not gonna hold you. By the end of this live, I might only have like 5 people following me, because I'm gonna end up blocking everybody. Keep playing in my face. Hey Gramps, can you send this over to Peach? My other pay links aren't working. Send this over to them, or I send them over to myself. I got you. They send it through PayPal." And also Mega Cries, W's in chat for Mega Cries, sent 10 through the PayPal and said, "Can you send that to Peach? I don't have the Cash App or Venmo." I got you. So Peach, you got 20 coming your way, 10 from Mega Cries, 10 from Mr. and Mrs. Torres. Guys, please, please, please make sure that we are showing Peach some love. Peach does have Cash App and Venmo, but if you want to send something through PayPal, you can definitely send it to me, and I will definitely get it over to Peach. So, yep, they would do that. With that being said, Will, I'm going to come to you. And I kind of want to follow up on what Peach was just saying, because I think it was a great point, right? And more so in the sense of like, we've seen the weaponization of propaganda. And I can't remember the number right offhand. I'll go look it up. But I think that initially there's reports that Russia pumped out, spent like $500,000 to do like initial runs of misinformation and disinformation, but there's been like additional foreign influences and the propaganda that's been pushed into our country, and we've been impacted from that point where now like conspiracy theories are rampant. People are less willing to engage in critical thinking. Everyone thinks that they're an expert. Do you think that propaganda has gotten better, or have we just gotten worse?
Well, a lot to unpack there. I think that's a multifaceted answer. I think it's a little bit of both, honestly. So starting with, has propaganda gotten better? Yes. And better is probably a not quite the right word for it. To me, it's more ubiquitous than it is better. It's just kind of in everything that we do now, and instead of, you go back 40, 50 years and the news was just the news and not, politically polarized, right? As far as the second half of that being, have we gotten worse? Yes, also, I think, and I think that's the reason for that is multifold. But the primary reason, I think, is because we've become so much more of an instant gratification type of society that we're looking for the easy answer as opposed to the answer that makes the most sense. Because the easy answer takes the least amount of time to find, right? And usually that answer, that answer is the one that confirms our confirmation, or our own biases. It's our own confirmation bias.
Yeah.
That's usually where I land on that.
Okay. I think that's a great call out. I think that the fact that we want to engage makes it easier to engage. I think that's where we are. Alabama, what do you think? I think Will kind of hit it on the head, but do you think that the fact that we're so willing to seek out confirmation bias that it makes it easier for us to be propagandized? Abraham.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
I don't know why I called you Alabama.
It's all right.
Whatever, Petty.
I think I think it's gotten worse because propaganda has shifted its main stage from being on news outlets and media now to being in our hands, to our cell phones, to social media, gaining those fake news articles through Facebook, Instagram, just seeing these little things like Eminem becoming unalive at the age of 50. I remember seeing that for 3 months straight. It's just, I feel like people just love the drama. They love excitement in their life, and they will be sold a simple, exciting story without the base, without the facts. It's almost scary.
Yeah. It makes me worry that that it's creating more division within our society. Like, am I off base with that?
No, and I think it's more intentionally. That division is being fueled every day by people from the right and the left constantly attacking each other and not understanding that even myself, I'm a Republican, but I voted blue because I know where my Republican Party stands, but I don't like who represents it.
Yeah.
But I'm just as human as the next person over to the left. I think we need to stop getting drawn in these basic trivial conflicts amongst each other and realize there's a bigger picture. And the cause of that conflict is starting from the top.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Abraham. Holy smokes.
I'll take Amber or Alabama.
I mix Abraham with Ember because I was going to Ember, and so I mixed Abraham and Ember and said Amber. Ember, coming to you. What do you think about what Abraham just said? Like, do you think that there's more propaganda within our country today because of the head of the snake that deals in propaganda, or are we propagandized? Like, is Trump the head of the snake because propaganda is the currency we deal with?
So I'm gonna kind of go at this at both angles. I don't think Trump is the main cause. I think it's always been there. Me, myself, so I'm 26. When I was about 15, I was a victim of that confirmation bias, what Alabama was talking about when he's piggybacking off of Will, and they're both absolutely right in what they're saying. And when I was 15, I was like, oh well, he's gay, and I'm oh well, he must be right, and oh, so he thinks like that, so I got to think like that because he's older than me, he must know better, right? So I'm confirming my own bias. He's seeing the things right. So that's kind of like where I fell in, right? And I'm 26 now. I've kind of grown a little bit, right? And I'm raising 2 kids, and I'm looking at this, and it's like I have to look at everything and go, well, now I have 2 kids to think about. I need to make sure that what I'm seeing is accurate to ensure that the information that they're seeing is not misleading them like I was misled. And I think Trump is a big part of that at this current moment. However, I think he is just another head that has fallen in line, and he will eventually fade and the new head will come. I think it's like a hydra, right? You cut one head off, 2 more pop in its place. He is not the main issue. He is just the center focus at the moment, but Trump is not the cause of this. And, not to take too much time, but he is just, he is the biggest scammer to date. How much money has he scammed off the American people? Like $1.6 billion. You know what I mean? So he is definitely a part of a large portion of the problem at this current time in our history. However, I don't think he is the problem. Like if Trump leaves, all of a sudden propaganda is not going to stop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing that I talk about. And that's why I'm so adamant when I speak on like the issues that I talk about. It's not a left or right issue. It's something that's prevalent within our country and our society as a whole. So I think there's so much to it. All right, Ember, thank you so much for that. Swan.
Yes.
I kind of agree with what Ember was just saying as far as like the Hydra reference. But I think it goes deeper than that, right? And I don't want to go too conspiracy theory, but I will say, okay, so we can ground this in reality. We know the fact that the United States of America has a history of destabilizing countries. And we understand that counterattacks occur, and there's foreign actors that look to destabilize the United States. And while there is propaganda that has been perpetuated from outside of our country, I think there may be something to propaganda that's looked to, they look to destabilize it within our country, i.e. false flags, i.e. pumping booger sugar into the Black community, looking to, exactly, manufacturing content. No, like, what do you think? Am I off base, or like, is that something that could be happening?
Oh, it's 100% happening. So to bring this, I guess I'm going to start here, because this is a word I feel like is really important in this conversation for people to know and understand, which is techno-fascism. Techno-fascism is a modern emerging political phenomenon describing the fusion of powerful technology firms, wealthy right-wing influencers, and authoritarian anti-democratic agendas. My personal opinion, I'm gonna say it's not just the right, it's the liberals too. But moving on from that, it involves using like AI surveillance and social media to manage society, to suppress dissent, and serve corporate military interests under the guise of efficiency, often replacing traditional democratic governance. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because this is the arena that we're in, and I don't think that people know and understand that we've been in this arena for over a decade, right? We know that Steve Bannon was involved in finding ways to radicalize young people, right? Like in the gamer world, that was a huge thing. I can't remember the exact terms for it, but you see that, you know, this mentality that's been growing, like this virtual pathway to the alt-right pipeline. The people that were radicalized and the children that were radicalized when this started are now adults. And I don't think that people understand that. I don't think that people realize that. I think it's important to also remember that, like, depending on like what a person's media literacy capabilities are, which I think we have found that it's not really clicking for a lot of people, you're going to be exposed to so many things. But it's easy to expose somebody and to loop somebody in and reel them in if they don't have media literacy, if they don't know what they're up against, if they don't understand, you know, the powers that be and what their agenda is, if they're not paying attention to these things. That's a huge issue. And sorry, what was the last part of your question again? So I want to make sure I respond to that as well.
Is it something where they're actually pumping that into into the U.S. to destabilize the country, similar to what they've done to like Black communities and also other nations?
Yeah. So you mean like how it's like, oh, I guess one example would be like everything, like you mean like with Iran, like how we are for that, or how we are for it, or yeah. So I would say with that, right? I know this is gonna sound kind of like wild, but there's been quite a few panels that I've been on where we talk with people who say that they're Iranian, and they say that they are happy with the United States decision and Israel's decision, right? And then they say, you know, this is something good. This is something that we needed. And for me, when I engaged with one of them one time, I just, you know, and they bring up the saying Marg Bar America, which means unaliving to America, right? Now, when I hear people start to talk like that, I'll ask them to like explain what that means. And then that'll kind of give you the answer. But essentially what it is they're pushing propaganda to convince people that this is something that we should do, when in reality, it's not. Now, if you guys have been keeping up with Iran's propaganda, I'm not going to lie. I think one of their last Lego videos, they showed exactly what Marg Bar America actually means to them, right? And this goes all the way back to the United States interfering with them being able to take control and nationalize their own resources and saying, you're not going to do that. We need to be in control of this, right? Because they showed who? They showed the victims of Hiroshima. They showed Malcolm X. They showed indigenous people. They showed children of Gaza, right? They showed people that were marginalized and showed the ways in which they've been harmed by this administration, and then also by, Bibi, right? So I think that I do think that that is something that we're seeing on both ends of things, if that makes sense, which does make it kind of difficult for people to comprehend. But I think, unfortunately, more people are falling victim to what we're seeing in terms of these people coming into our spaces saying, oh, no, we're happy about this. Please explain to me how you're happy about this, when on the White House TikTok page, they've been posting videos, right, of Wii games, somebody bowling a bowling ball down a bowling alley, right, in the Wii game or whatever, and then it shows them striking Iran. You know what I mean? Like, we know that that's not the case, that they're actors, they're paid actors, but
Yeah. I think there's a lot to be said about that, and even more so, I think it perpetuates the idea that our government is not here to quote unquote protect us, right? And I think that's something that a lot of people still haven't necessarily wrapped their head around, because the idea of what the government does, and I think that's even more of a reason why I wanted to highlight the White House app. But Peach, I want to come back to you. What do you think about that as a whole, right? Is it an instance where we need to be aware of the technocrats, we need to be aware of the foreign actors, but we need to also be aware of the United States government and what they're trying to do to us here in the US?
Yeah, I think it's, I think like looking at it from a holistic view, like every part of it can easily be overwhelming, because you're right. We do have to watch out for the kleptocracy that's happening, the oligarchy, the tech bros, and there are books about techno-fascism as well that you guys can check out. There are a lot of things coming out, but it's information that most of us have not been exposed to at all. And so it can easily feel like, and this goes back to what I've been talking about since we started this live here and there, about how overwhelmed people get, and it makes them shut down because there's just too much. And so I try to tell people, pick 2 or 3 things. You can't follow every news article. You can't follow every subject. There's too much. So pick 2 or 3 things that you're very interested in. Make sure that you are engaging in community who are also picking 2 or 3 things. And then that way you all keep each other updated with accurate information, learning how to search, learning how to fact check, learning, by the way, a very simple trick that you can do, unless you use DuckDuckGo as a search engine, every other one, whatever you write in your search bar, just use the dash and write AI, so minus AI, and it is supposed to remove AI results from your search. But my point here is that you can't carry the weight of all of this, even though you know that there are so many aspects that we have to be aware of. You do what you can, and I say this as genuinely as I can. The most important thing that I think we need is to remember that if we get lost, we can't help anybody else. So you have to figure out the ways to keep yourself safe, to keep yourself calm, to stay focused, and not to get, dragged off of target by the next video that's come out. Like for me, for example, Swan, I'm glad that you brought up the Lego videos. Honestly, I posted on my threads the other day, and I was like, I don't want to see another fucking Lego video. I don't. I don't want to. Oh, I'm sorry. And Mother Santana, I apologize. And Tana, I apologize. And chat, I apologize. I did so good.
You okay?
Until then,
everybody gets one.
Yeah, I just said I don't want to see another video, because I think that what's happening in this in our current climate of propaganda is that it is all being made to seem like kind of a game. They're gamifying and memifying something that's really horrifying, something that is devastating, and I think the memification of the horror that's happening is doing more damage to us as people trying to search for actual accurate information, like the number of American soldiers, because that's up for debate. Nobody will say an actual number. And it's, over here, they're claiming it's one number, but over there, they're claiming it's like exponentially higher than that. Do you know what I mean? And so I think that's a really important part of this that we need to talk about, as well as this gamifying of everything. Like, oh, it's just fun and games. And the Lego videos are cute. They're cute. But this is also serious, and it feels like it's a bunch of really rich people playing checkers with our lives. And so I get a little too serious, I think, about this.
No, I think that you hit it on the head, and like I didn't think about it until you said it, because I had been watching, I saw the Lego videos, and I didn't really engage with it because I was like, no. And it was more so for that, the exact reason. I'm like, this is an actual conflict. People are actually losing their lives. And I don't think this is funny or necessary. And even the way that Donald Trump talks about the way that we engage in conflict, I'm like, I can't do that. But I think you just like open up my eyes to that new perspective. So I want to go around the horn. I'm going to swap people out. Will, coming back to you over on YouTube. Do you think they're using that type of propaganda to try to desensitize us, or, like Peach said, gamify us? Like, what do you think about that? Because I think that there's so many different things that we engage with that like nowadays we're just so desensitized to it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. That's actually a really good point that Peach brought up. 100%, I believe that the Lego videos, the Wii game propaganda from the US, all of these memeified ways of presenting the war to us is absolutely trying to desensitize us in a way, to thinking that, oh, well, this isn't that big of a deal, right? But it is. It's war. But also I think it's also trying to relate to the younger generations who are, as Swan said earlier, more into, like the gamer culture,
which makes sense as well, right? That's the hard part. Like, that's the square that I keep trying to circle, because both of them make sense to me.
And I think it's both. They're trying to come at this from both angles, right? They're trying to get more support, get more of the younger generation involved with it and interested in it by making it that way, but also desensitizing them to it by making it that way at the same time. And what I'm really interested in finding out is more what I want to relate this back to what Swan also said about radicalizing that gamer culture and saying, if we actually look at like small children who are far more media literate or technology literate than we were at that age, and I don't know how much older or younger I am than anybody else in here, but as younger generations grow up more technologically literate, how much more susceptible to that type of propaganda are they going to be? Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. I do think that it's more of a fear that we're going to have to deal with. And I think that it's something that younger people are going to have to actually navigate. And that worries me. But Will, thank you so much for coming up and hanging out with us. I really appreciate you. And I'm going to swap you out, okay?
Thank you for giving me the time. Enjoy the show.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. I don't know. Chat, I don't know what's happening. I think some of my mods might be having some type of technical difficulties. Just never mind the man behind the curtain. We're good. Abraham, coming to you.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that there is an instance of like memeing real life activities to desensitize us?
Yeah, absolutely.
What up, Matt?
I mean, it's been going on. It's been going on for years. I mean, we used to do the same thing in lines of racism and lines of war. It was popular in the 60s and 70s during Vietnam. It was popular during segregation with all those racial cartoon pictures in the newspapers. It's trying to, I absolutely agree. I think they're trying to take the focus away of the severity of what we're going through. Absolutely. I don't have much else after that, but.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, hey, Abraham, thank you so much for coming up and spending a little bit of time with us. I really appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Bye, guys.
Thank you. All right. Ember, are they trying to desensitize us?
Oh, 100%. Abraham kind of took what I was going to say. I was going to bring up the segregation, and he's absolutely right. My mother actually, she had an old doll. My mom's African American. Before anyone says it, I'm African American, and it is an all black doll with big red lips, and that she found when she was 18. Now, keep in mind, this was years ago, right? But you got to think, right? I'm 26. So 18 years ago, she went into a shop down south and was able to still find this sitting on the shelf. And she bought it to take it home because no one would have believed her otherwise. That even then, that was still a thing that people were still actively supporting and believing in, and didn't think and thought that was completely fine. Had no issue with that, right? So I absolutely think that with the the memification of like, oh, if we just show their Legos bombing each other, then it's funny all of a sudden. It's like, no, it's not funny. It's not funny. That's serious, and I can't say anything. I'm a gamer. I mean, I play many games where it's the whole when they were thinking video games were creating murder, you know what I mean, people were unaliving each other because they played video games, you know what I mean. So that's always been a topic of conversation, but I think 100% that what they're doing is they're 100% trying to desensitize the younger generation into thinking that this is okay, the same way that they try to desensitize an entire race into thinking that racism was okay and that Jim Crow was okay and that these things were okay, and that being homophobic, xenophobic, racist, bigoted, these things are okay, and it's fine to joke about them, and it's fine to just it's not a big deal. That was so long ago. It's like, no, it wasn't that long ago.
Right.
My mom grew up in a time where she couldn't go outside and without she'll wear a nice jacket without getting robbed, because she was for being black. You know what I mean? So I find it just I just have a real big issue with that. I have an issue when I see other people downplay, and it's like, you are hurting yourself.
Yeah.
It's when people of victims of violent crimes or anything like that, not to ramble too much longer, they downplay the experience, and you know what I mean. So but yes.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But Ember, thank you so much for coming up and hanging out with us. I really appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate that.
All right, thank you. Debbie's in the chat from Maga Cries, who re-upped on their late night tuber subscription, and also for the $2 super chat. Guys, if you'd like to support the live, please, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat. I will read that out. But guys, make sure we're taking care of Peach. Peach hasn't even made it to 5,000 coins yet. Can we please take care of Peach, because Peach has been here doing the heavy lifting. Please show Peach some love. Give Peach. Make sure you hit that follow button, but also hit those pay links. Peach is working hard. Peach put a comment in the chat, said, "Hi everyone. Please don't DM me, please. I'm always on stream, and I'm glad to speak here. Please respect Peach's boundaries. Please and thank you. But show Peach some love." With that being said, Swan, I think we can agree that they are trying to desensitize us. But the question I have now is why?
So that the United States or American imperialist agenda can continue. The reason why I say that is because for me, and this is why like knowing history and understanding media literacy is so important. Stephen Miller, right, is a WS. I think y'all know what I mean when I say a WS, right?
He's a white supremacist.
Yes. Oh, we can say that for here. I forget. So he's a white supremacist. He, if you look into his information, back in 2015, 2016, there were emails that were leaked where there was a lot of talking points that he had that were all like far right talking points. He also used to suggest to people that they read a book called The Camp of Saints. And Camp of Saints is a book about mass immigration destroying Western civilization. Okay, that's one person. When we talk about Marco Rubio, right, who wants to be in charge of the regime change in Cuba, him being someone who is a descendant of people, right, who were Spaniards, conquistadors from Sevilla, Spain, right? This man wants to be in charge of the regime to get his lick back because his family was forced out of Cuba, right, at a time when you saw that there were workers uprising, right, because they were subjected to like, you know, horrible working conditions. And a lot of the people that came from Cuba to the United States, these people tend to vote on the right, and they are white. They're white supremacists. And in his speech, when he spoke at the Munich Security Conference in Germany about a month ago, he talked about, and if you come to my live, I do play it often, he talked about the United States and our allies not being weak so that we can overcome the destabilization of the West, right? That has happened because of mass migration, and that we need to recreate the bond that we had during the transatlantic era, right? I could go on and on and on about the problematic things that this administration has said and has done, right? They're pushing us further and further. The last thing I'll talk about is Kevin Roberts, the president of the Heritage Foundation. This man studied he studied American history when you look at his credentials. But if you dig deeper into what he actually studied and what his dissertation was on, it was about enslaved people in Louisiana from 1750 to 1850. Why in the world would the president of the Heritage Foundation, who has been actively trying to erase the history of Black and brown people, study African American studies? Right? Why would he study what was happening in Louisiana during that particular time period, right? Now, here's this. Sorry, I'm going to monologue a little bit, but it's important. He also studied family structure. He studied the economic impact and the social evolution of enslaved people during that particular time period in Louisiana. He's a Catholic. He's traditionalist Catholic. He opened up a Catholic school in Louisiana, not to educate children, but to indoctrinate them from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade. Right? And then the last thing, this is what really sealed the deal for me when I did my research on him. He studied the Haitian Revolution and Nat Turner's rebellion. Not because he cares about Black people. It's because he, along with his other people that are in his world, want to keep that old money in rotation. And they want to make sure that when they do it again this time, that they get it right. The Haitian Revolution was a win for Black people everywhere. Free Aiti in the chat with the flag, please, in the chat. Right? That was a win for Black people everywhere, and it scared plantation owners. Nat Turner's rebellion scared the mess out of white people, right? So when you do your research into all of these things, when you're listening to what they are saying, it's clear as day what it is that they want to do. It is clear as day, and that is them redrawing the lines, as my good sis Covey would always say, right? A continued push for neo-colonialism, right? Adding the virtual aspect of it, the ways in which they've been able to use the internet to play the long game into radicalizing people. There is a very clear agenda. And the agenda is to preserve white supremacy, to preserve capitalism, to preserve imperialism, to preserve patriarchy. And they are doing this and have been doing this for a very long time. If they can desensitize us, then they can make it so that we don't push back throughout this process of them trying to go after what it is that they felt that they've lost. And we cannot allow that to happen.
Yeah. I completely agree. And I think it's worth being completely aware and ensuring that we are fighting back and making sure that we are cutting through all of it. Peach, I want to come back to you. Because I want to understand your thoughts on why why desensitizing us as a whole is something that is not only feasible, but something that is actively occurring.
I think that, and thank you, by the way. I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate you and your kindness to me this evening. I think one of the side effects of desensitization is a decrease in empathy, right? And a decrease in the ability to extend even sympathy. So something that's happening with the slop that our government is putting out, it's a very consistent note, is that they are sort of implying that these people are not human, right? And so we don't need to worry about them. And so when we talk to people about becoming desensitized, I have always said, so there's a book called Pedagogy of the Oppressed by Paulo Freire. And in Pedagogy of the Oppressed, and this is a paraphrase, but Freire writes that most oppressed people don't actually want liberation. They want to become the oppressor. And I have always argued that the reason we want to become the oppressor, and we have to get that out of our systems, is because we haven't given ourselves license enough to be creative and to imagine a world without oppression and what that would look like. That's a lot of work. What's not a lot of work is just accepting what's been told to us over and over and over again, that America's the best, America's the best, America's the best. And when you mix that with, for example, I'm not sure if anybody saw the recent news about how our current president is getting his daily updates. He likes
Fox News now.
Yeah, that, and he likes them to give him video compilations of things exploding, right?
Oh,
and
wait, I didn't hear that part. I just heard the part about them, like they had to stop giving him stuff to read and make it more like Fox News, so it was easier for him to digest. But he likes to see stuff exploding.
Yes, he loves to see where the projectiles have landed. And it's every morning. So anything that's exploded, he wants to see a video of it. Because, UAVs are also equipped with surveillance technology, so they can show what's happening. And so when we're talking about being led by a person with a dearth of humanity to that degree, and the sycophants around him, who are also engaged in dehumanizing all of us, desensitization then is going to make us less likely to actively respond to it. It's also going to, it's just going to lower morale to like a zero level. So I do think, I would argue that that's one of the reasons we haven't seen like a real, true, dyed-in-the-wool, organized sort of mass protest. Or I get it, everybody says the 50-51 and no kings and stuff, but I'm talking about a long-term organized strategy that would have made a difference and had some demands attached to it and expectations, things like that. I think it's because we are floundering under the weight of all of this. And the internet, I don't think that we were meant to consume information at this rate. I really don't. And I think that the constant influx of information is overwhelming us as well. And that's contributing to the desensitization. It's like, I remember when we first started seeing images and videos coming out of Gaza, and the horrifying things. And then you look just a few months later, and when the first tranche of the e-files was released, people were actively searching for the most disgusting, upsetting, traumatizing information they could find, and then just sharing it without warning people at all, to a point where CNN actually posted videos that they had found in the files of children. Now, they did do a black screen over the faces. And there was one video where they had children in, I think, bathing suits or something. So they put a black square over the children's bodies. But it's the fact that we've gotten to that level where we are perfectly okay with reposting CSAM. We're perfectly okay with that without a trigger warning. And it's to go back to to go back to the very beginning and kind of circle back. I think one of the biggest things that we are missing out on is that every single day of this, constantly trying to take in everything that's shoved your way, you just don't have, I don't think anybody has the capacity to continue searching through that and continue wrestling with that and continue fact checking everything while still going at the speed that we're conditioned to go at on the internet. And so I will say it again and again and again. I just hope that people will understand how important they are as individuals. Like, not talking to the group of you, I'm speaking to like every individual who can hear my voice right now. I want you to know how important you are. Like, you're important enough to take time. You're important enough to slow down. You're important enough to decide what it is that you're going to consume. And you deserve to be able to take the journey of fact checking and finding out and holding on to things you know to be accurate. Because when you're armed with accurate information, that's going to make you more dangerous. It's going to make you more effective. It's going to make you better. You know what I mean? So I think that's where I land on the desensitization aspect.
Yeah. I think that's it's a great point, and I think it's something that everyone needs to understand and be aware. Right? I think the fact that we need to be hyper aware of what is currently happening, so much so that we don't allow it to happen. And I think that's just a great call out, because that was something that really hit home to me when I started reading and seeing and processing stuff when it comes to the Epstein files, and really understanding that some people were literally just saying, oh, well, there's got to be more, right? There has to be something bigger. There has to be, and it got to a point where it seemed like, some type of fetish, or I don't know. It was just weird. It was weird. But so this is what I want to do. Guys, Swan has been amazing as far as championing for Peach in the comments, and said to get Peach over 10K coins. And you guys did that. But I think we can do better, because Peach has been absolutely amazing up here this evening. So what I need you guys to do is get Peach over 15K coins. I know that we can do it. I have faith in us. Lock in, chat. Please, please, please. This is Peach's first time really hanging out with us, and we want Peach to come back. Peach, this is one of the first time Peach has ever really hung out for a good portion of time on the panel, and not only hung out, but actually did the heavy lifting. And we have to make sure that we appreciate the HE double hockey sticks out of Peach. So please, 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 if you can, let's go ahead and take care of Peach. Send some roses, send some dinosaurs, send some money guns, send whatever you got. But also, hey, hit Peach's pay links. Hit Peach's pay links. They are running in the poll in the bio. W's in the chat for Maggie. Maggie sent a $20 donation, and Maggie said 10 for you and 10 for Peach. Thank you so much for what you do. Well, guess what, Maggie? I'm going to send this whole 20 to Peach, because Peach has been absolutely amazing tonight. W's in the chat for Peach. Now, while you guys are doing the thing, right? While you guys, make sure you click on Peach's profile, because I see there's been some friendly fires where some gifts have accidentally come to me. Make sure you click on Peach's profile and then send Peach the gift, because if you don't click on Peach's profile, then it's going to come to me. Send the gifts to Peach, not to me. So I want to do this, though, because I think that I would be remiss if we didn't kind of circle back around, and I'm going to come to you in a second, Swan. Circle back around and really dig into the heart of what we've been talking about throughout this week. And it kind of hits at what we did last night. Now, chat, you know I'm not gonna lie to you. You know I keep it funky with you. It's been some squabbling going on in the comments. I don't know what's happening with the mods. Listen, they're getting a little too big for the britches. Whatever. I don't know what's happening with the mods, but they've been tripping all night. Don't even worry about it. But no, anyway, mods. If there's any of my mods that are able to come up, please hop up. If you're in the request, if you're in any of my requests, the boxes are closed for tonight for other people. But mods, if you want to join on TikTok, if you want to join on YouTube, go ahead and hop up. I want to end the night in a specific way. While we're getting people in, Swan, you had something you wanted to add.
Yeah, I was trying to find a specific content creator. I'm really frustrated with myself because I can't remember their name. But I just wanted to talk about like some content creators that do talk about this and they give out like good information. One content creator, well, do you mind if I bring up someone else's name? No, go ahead. Okay. It's Solid, Super Solid. Y'all know who Super Solid is?
Of course we know Super Salad.
Yes, Super Salad. So he does something that's called agitprop. So like it's agitation and propaganda. It's a form of political communication, right? Designed to influence people, but in a good way, if that makes sense. Like a lot of times Solid will put up information about, I don't know, just make sure you can go and check out his videos. But I think promoting things like that, like for example, he brought up I think one of his videos, he talked briefly about like civility and then being docile versus being docile, right? And I think that he brought that up during a time period when we were being hit with image after image after image of people who were being harmed by ICE agents, right? And I think when I saw that video, I thought that was something that people needed to see, right? Because the people that kept on saying, you are the problem. If you're protesting, you're the problem. If you have an issue with the way that ICE is doing things, you're the problem, right? Trying to push people into being docile versus what civility is, which is where, we have an agreement, right? And in alignment with each other as a, society. And if something is not okay within our society that's happening, it's okay to push back against that. There's nothing wrong with that. And to not listen to those that are telling us that we should be docile, right? Because if we become docile, then that harm will continue and push onward and onward and onward with no one saying anything. So I did just want to say that that's something that people can look into. Agitprop, I think there's nothing wrong with that. I definitely think that we should push more agitprop. I think that'll at least be one tool that can be used to push back against the desensitization that we've all been experiencing, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's all I wanted to add.
Absolutely. Mods, so we're all locked up here on TikTok, but if any of the mods still want to come up, go over to YouTube. Click the link over in YouTube and I'll bring you up over on YouTube. But if there's any more mods, go ahead and come up on YouTube and I'll get everybody in. But guys, Peach is still here. And Peach is only 12K away from that 15K coin. So guys, click on Peach's profile and make sure that we are showing Peach some love. Let's get Peach. I'm challenging the chat to get Peach over 15K. I don't think you can do it because sometimes you guys suck. I said it. I don't think you can do it. Whatever. Anywho, this is how I wanted to end the evening. So there we go. We've been talking about the need for critical thinking and the need for engaging in. Oh, hold on. Okay, we're good. We've been talking about the need for critical thinking, and we've been talking about the need to push each other. And so we did a little bit of the conversations yesterday where we went through some of the critical thinking questions, and we did a little bit more on We did a little bit more on sparring as well. And I want to do that tonight. I want to do that tonight. So, going to start with Peach. Peach, you're the guest of honor. I need you to pick a number 1 through 101.
76.
76.
Mhm.
Peach, does Sherlock Holmes exist?
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
So Sherlock Holmes is a real person.
I didn't say that. I said he exists. So I believe in a particular literary theory called reader response theory, which argues that a book only exists after you read it. Like the story actually only exists after you read it and react to it. And so by virtue, everybody who's ever read that book, if you agree with reader response theory, they made Sherlock Holmes exist. So.
Okay. Laura, coming to you over on YouTube. Pick a number 1 through 101. Laura's frozen. I don't know if that's me or Laura. Magga Cries, are you there? I see you're off mute, but I don't hear you saying anything. Magga Cries, are you trying to speak? There we go.
Is that better?
Yes, I can hear you now, kind of.
I'll try to get a little closer.
Okay, I'll come back. YouTube is all kind of messing up right now. Swan, pick a number 1 through 101.
22.
22. Can there be morality without God?
Yes.
I don't like that question for you. Tell us why.
I think that morality is subjective. I think even the ways in which people view God and experience God, I guess I could say, is subjective as well. Even like we even see a difference depending on like if you are a part of like a denomination, how you're going to talk about and worship God, if that makes sense.
Yeah, we're just gonna stop here. I don't want you to answer that question. This is a question I want you to answer, Swan. I'm giving you 16.
Okay.
Swan, if there's no free will, should we punish people at all?
If there's no free will, we should only punish those that are taking away our free will.
No. I said if there's no free will, should we punish people at all?
No. Well, I mean, it's a yes and a no. I would say no, but yes to those that are the reason as to why we don't have free will. Does that make sense?
Mm-mm.
It doesn't make sense.
Mm-mm. Who are those people? If no one has free will, then who are the people taking away the free will? It's not their will to take away the free will.
Is it not?
Not if they don't have free will.
They do, though. That's the thing.
But no.
An example of what I mean would be like the e-files, for example, right? Like it exposed the people who are supposed to be holding those that do wrong in society accountable for certain things. But then we find out that like all along they've had this level of power, right? And they've, even though most of us, well, a lot of us have known that this is actually happening for a long time, but they were doing these things like times 1,000, right, behind the scenes, where it seems like the only purpose that they had was to just be the only ones that can do it, if that makes sense. Yeah,
okay.
That's my, yeah.
Okay. All right. Magga Cries, are you good now?
Yeah, let's see. Let's try this again.
You're talking to us through a tin can that's like 15 yards away.
Is this better?
Did you turn the tin can up?
No.
Okay. Hold on. Laura, are you there? Can you speak? See if we can hear you.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, a little bit.
Headsets on.
Perfect. Now you sound great. Okay, Laura, pick a number 1 through 101.
I picked 23.
23?
That's been picked. Yeah.
Okay. Is morality relative?
Not to me.
Why?
Because religious citation with the word, so I threw it out the window.
Okay. All right, give me a moment. Corey, pick a number 1 through 2. No.
What?
No. Pick a number 1 through 101.
69.
Someone already did that.
Did they?
Earlier. Yeah, pick a different number.
66.
66. If meat can be grown using stem cells, is there any reason not to eat meat?
No, I mean, no. Why would there be? No, I don't think that would be a reason to eat meat.
So all those PETA people can just F off. Them and all the angry vegans.
Quite frankly, yes.
Okay. All right. 1 second. Devin. Just Devin. Pick a number 1 through 101.
Let's see here. How about 99?
99. Is science compatible with religion?
I think for some people it is. Some people will use science to back up their religious beliefs. Personally, I don't know about that. I'm not quite sure. I think there's a lot of conflicts between the both of them. So,
Okay. Petty. Pick a number 1 through 101.
Well, since Swan stole our birthday number, I'll go with 44.
44. Pick another one. We did this one earlier.
11.
11. Which would you rather be, an unhappy human or a happy dog?
Well, I'm already an unhappy human. So I guess I'll stay with that one.
Okay. That's fair. Maga cries. We can try you again. Or did you fix the tin can with the string?
Is that better?
No. Not even a little bit.
Hold on, give me a second.
You sound like you're talking to us from the past. Yeah, Tess said it's somehow worse. It is. It got worse.
Yeah, you might have to leave and come back because it's not showing up in your settings.
It sounds like you guys are like far away.
Let me try to come back real quick.
Okay. All right. Sam, pick a number 1 through 101.
Can I do 101?
You can. What is philosophy anyway?
Never mind. Can I do a different one? I don't know if I have an answer for that. I feel like that one's boring. Philosophy. Yeah, I don't know. I intentionally stay out of Philbro spaces. And that's all I associate philosophy with now. Yeah, that's all I have. I'm so sorry.
See, I would have philosophized my philosophy answer. I don't know. Just me. Just me. Let's try Mega Cries again. Let's see what happens. All right.
How's this?
There. Freaking there. All right.
Absolutely.
Pick a number 1 through 101.
Let's do 92.
92. Can we be certain of anything?
Oh man. See, I'm not good at philosophy. I guess not, because you never know what's going to happen day by day, even minute by minute. So
So there's nothing that you feel like you can ground yourself in certainty with?
I mean, not really. Even on the basis of like waking up every day, you could lose your job tomorrow. My wife of 14 years could leave me just like in a minute. So in my opinion, nothing's really certain.
Okay. Well, I will say the one thing that you can be certain on is that I'm gonna be late.
That is
Joanna. No. Joanna, pick a number 1 through 101.
Well, since my number got stolen, 9.
9. Is my mama asleep? Let me check and see if my mama here. Okay, I don't see her. Joanna, how is love different from passion or sexual desire?
Well, I think I'm gonna keep it PG. I think the physical desires and the neurons that are being fired in the brain and the chemicals being released in the brain are different. And I think that's how they're different.
Okay. Let's see here. We got everyone from YouTube. Okay, perfect. Boss Lady Fun. Pick a number 1 through 101.
13.
13. Pick another one. We did that one earlier.
Oh no. 37.
37. Boss Lady Fun.
Just you pick one.
Is the main purpose of law to promote morality?
Main purpose of law to promote morality? No.
What is it?
I'd say like more justice.
You think all laws are just?
No, I'm thinking more of like, I guess like I was thinking more of like when you go to like court and when there's like, I thought you meant like in a courtroom, like the law, like in that way, but you mean like literally every single law?
Yeah, like actual laws.
No, because I don't think they would all be moral either. I think we have some not right ones.
Okay. All right. Tess, pick a number 1 through 101.
24.
Kobe. God damn. Oh, excuse my language. Okay.
Mama Jones.
Whew. Tess. Is it objectively wrong to torture innocent babies just for fun?
my God.
Right. You picked a number. You picked a number.
Question I get?
Whoa. Whoa.
What world is that?
You picked the number. Whoa.
God, I should have just said you pick and tell me.
Whoa. You got to answer the question.
No.
Whoa.
It is awful. No, it is absolutely objectively wrong. Dear Lord, don't ever say those words again.
Wait, so you
strike that.
Wait, so it's objectively wrong to torture babies for fun, innocent babies for fun, but it's not wrong for purpose. Is that what you're saying, Tess?
No, I'm saying it's wrong for purpose or for
Well,
fun.
it has to be either or. You wait, are you saying that you are willing to find the functionality in it?
No. You gotta stop, man.
That question is so jacked up. Holy smokes. I didn't even see that question.
Jeez.
I didn't even see that question. Okay. Holy smokes.
You know why I picked that one?
Why?
Because my husband turned 48 and he's insecure about his age, so he had a half birthday. And that was it.
Oh, okay. You know what?
I'm gonna tell him, great, now I got to be questioned about torturing babies.
What the fuck is happening? Excuse my
Thank
language.
you for your birthday.
That is crazy. I would have picked 24 as well because that's my number because it's Kobe. Okay. All right, guys. We're gonna do a lightning round. And I am picking your numbers, i.e., I get to pick what question you answer. MAGA cries, starting with you. Should people pay more taxes to get more votes?
Oh man, I still feel bad for Tess. I don't think so because I'm a big fan of democracy, and I'm definitely anti-capitalism added. So, no, absolutely not. It's completely against democracy, and like I said, I'm against capitalism.
But MAGA cries, don't people pay more money for votes right now? I.e., check out Elon Musk return on investment.
That is true, but that's also capitalism at its worst.
All right, MAGA cries, I'm gonna drop you down. I appreciate you coming up and playing, and I appreciate you.
No problem.
Period. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Coming back over here, and Tess, coming to you. So Tess, since last time you admitted to wanting to
strike.
Hold on. I got you, Tess. I got you. Don't worry about it.
I'm new, but I'm striking after that.
I got you. Don't worry. Tess, what's wrong with incest?
Oh dear God.
I'm just gonna lead into it now. We already here. That's number 27. What's wrong with incest?
Mods are gonna bully you harder.
Whatever. We already here now. That's the question. It's literally the question.
What is wrong?
What's wrong with it? And what's wrong with incest?
The fact that God. I can't put it into words without being so cringed out. I am like, my body is like folding in on itself.
Okay, I'll give you another one.
Dear God, that is so gross. I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody.
No.
You want a Habsburg's chin, Santana.
Listen. The one thing that every single person should know about me is I'm a habitual line stepper. If I'm there, then I'm just going to keep going. That is who I am. Period. All right. Tess, can food be art?
Yes.
Tell me why.
Yes, food is regularly art. It can be abstract. It can be thought provoking. Food can affect every single sense you have. And that's what art is meant to do. It's thought provoking. And how do you provoke thought? Through your senses, whether it's sight, touch, everything. Yeah, I'm a foodie. Give me all the food art, the other food, corn. Yeah, food is love, it's beauty, it's violence, it's all of that.
Taco Bell
Splatter
food
some
is
sauce.
definitely violence. That's
God.
absolute. It is absolutely violence. I
really
eat
is. That
Taco
or
Bell.
Chipotle.
Yeah, and my stomach sounds like I put some Tim's in the dryer. And if you know, you know. All right, Tess. I appreciate you coming up.
I think. I don't know. All right.
All right.
I'm striking.
All right. She's not. She's. I think she's doing her hair. Devin. She can't save y'all. Devin. All right. Oh, Devin, is it all right to torture? Where you going? Don't leave me. Oh, okay. I love you. She's leaving me. See, now I'm all thrown off. I don't even. Okay. Devin. Oh, hold on. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Is it all right to torture terrorists to extract information?
Absolutely not. In fact, I protested against this stuff back during the last Gulf War. I mean, it's disgusting. It's inhuman. We absolutely should never do that whatsoever. Also, I want to say something that you're pushing the mods over here to form our union because you're abusing Tess.
Listen, she's the one to pick that first question, and so I just leaned into it. But going back to, even if, like, what if torturing them would yield saving American lives?
Well, torture doesn't often work anyway. It's not very effective. People will often say something just to get you to quit torturing them anyway. So, the idea that torture even actually works is wrong. So, and that's another reason why it shouldn't be done.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you, Devin.
Thanks.
Thank you. Boss Lady Fun. Boss Lady Fun. Hey, Boss Lady Fun.
I'm scared.
Can animals reason?
Yeah,
You sure about that?
I think so. Animals are really smart. You ever had like a really smart dog?
You ever come across an ostrich?
No.
Ostriches aren't that smart.
Well, I'm not talking about ostrich. I'm talking about like cats and dogs. They
But an
like have a
ostrich is an
microphone.
animal.
Okay, how about not every animal?
So who is the arbiter of what animal can reason and what animal can't?
Well, we're animals too, so
The
the answer is yes.
Big facts. All right, Boss Lady Fun. I'm gonna drop you down. Laura, ready?
Can you hear me?
I can. Laura, this is a trick question.
Oh, goody.
Is race a biological category or a social construct?
That's easy. It's a social construct.
I was just messing. Listen, just had to make sure my mods were
I'm a biologist.
Just wanted to make sure my mod. No, I'm just messing with you. The actual question I have for you is, where is it? Oh, can wars ever be just?
Well, according to anime, yes.
Why?
I would say so. I mean, I guess it would just, how do you justify it? If you can justify the war, then it would be just. Whether it's like ethical or moral, but semantics.
Okay. All right, Laura, I appreciate you. I'm gonna drop you down.
All right. See you later.
Joanna. First, a temperature check. Are you elevated?
Absolutely.
Good. Joanna, what about fish, oysters, and tomatoes?
As someone who loves seafood, absolutely phenomenal combination.
Okay. I guess you win this round.
W's in the chat for me.
W's in the chat for you. All right, I'm gonna drop you down. All right, Sam.
Yes.
If life is meaningless, is life meaningless if we could live forever?
I don't know how living forever would change whether life is meaningless or not.
If there's never an end, then why value living in the moment?
No, I feel like it doesn't. I don't know. I feel like people find meaning in life irrespective of how long they live or expect to live, and some people think they are going to live like forever. Like,
Yeah, but logically speaking, we know that time is finite. And so at some point they have to come to the reason to find meaning, right?
yeah, but then I think a lot of people's meaning is based on the idea that their life is endless. Like, a lot of people find meaning in religion, and religion is like, you're going to live forever. So is it a loop of like the meaning is living forever? I don't know.
Okay. All right, Sam, I appreciate you. I'm gonna drop you down.
Thank you.
Thank you. Patty. Hey, Patty.
Yes.
Should we kill coma patients on life support to provide more resources to others?
Do they have a DNR?
I don't know. That's not a part of the question.
I would need more information.
Answer the question as is.
What if I don't want to?
You got to answer the question.
No. I think that if the person made that decision prior to whatever put them in that state of being, then sure.
Okay. That's fair.
Also,
thank you.
The mods are striking.
That's okay. You guys are strike out. I appreciate you, Patty.
Bye.
Have a good one. Corey.
No.
Why no?
I'm tired, Grandpa.
Corey, it'll rain later. It will rain a week later. Is it true, false, or neither?
Neither.
Why?
Because we don't know.
But it
It's
will
both
rain
raining
a week
in
later.
a week. It's both raining in a week and not raining in a week. So both. None of the above.
I actually kind of agree with you. Because later never comes. We locked in, twin. All right, Corey, go bother somebody else.
Well,
Good
then
night.
go take a nap.
Yeah. Bye, Corey.
Bye.
Swan.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Hey, Swan.
Yes.
Why ban drugs and not alcohol or trans fats?
Capitalism. Capitalism. Also, I want to say that was a missed opportunity for
What
you
was the
to say,
opportunity?
"This is your granddaddy." Like, you could have said that in response. You know what I'm saying? That would have been great. I said it in my head for you, though. That's okay.
I didn't even think about that one. All right, Swan. I appreciate you coming up.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Likewise. And then there was one. Peach, how we holding up?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm feeling really good now. Peach. All right. I heard, or I saw you in the chat say, I like this, right? And Peach, you're my special guest, right?
I don't know about special, but you know. It's all those special people in here tonight. What? This feels racist already. Feels very anti-black already.
I was about to say, can't be racist. I'm black. Regardless, we're going to do rapid fire, Peach. You ready?
Oh, God. Sure.
Can computers be creative?
No, not on their own. Because it takes the person operating the tool. It's like saying, can a paintbrush be creative?
What is a conscience?
A conscience or a conscious?
A conscience.
I think a conscience is a set of morals and ethics that you've been either taught or conditioned to see as objectively right or good.
When you have a toothache, is the pain in your mouth or is it in your howdy partner brain?
Well, I mean, it's technically it's in your tooth. It's just your brain that's telling you that it's your tooth.
What's the meaning of life?
Oh, man. I honestly think, like, for me, the meaning of life is like to search for meaning. Like, because there's so much freedom in every day that you wake up, right? That you can choose what direction you're going to go. You can stretch yourself whatever direction you like, and to search for meaning. And I for me, that's it. Yeah.
Does God exist?
I think yes, but not the Abrahamic God that we're all conditioned to think of first. But yeah, I do. I think there's something or someone much larger than us. Yeah.
Peach, if God exists, why are there so much? Why is there so much evil in the world?
I personally think, oh man, hey, have you ever seen the movie Shark's Tales?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my sister had a baby, and then my sister passed away. So me and my wife adopted it, and then I lost all of its arms and legs, and it just turned into a stump. And then I had to start working. It's growing, and it's fairly happy. I had to start working second shift at the factory, but seeing the love in that little guy's eyes makes it all worth it. True story. I just think people are shitty, man. And like the idea that there's this all powerful being who is, going to reach down on this planet and like move all the little ants around like chess pieces is it's just I don't want to be disrespectful because I know there's a lot of religious people in here, but for me, I don't see it that way. And I think that like we live in a world where we have allowed crappy personalities to thrive, and we have sacrificed a lot of our humanity hoping to get ahead. And so I think that's why. I don't think it has anything to do with God.
Okay. What is friendship and why do we need it?
What is friendship? I think it's a type of love. I really do. I think it's a type of love. And I think that we need it because what a terrible waste of space and time and heartbeats and thoughts and tears and all that we are to have to experience it all alone. What a terrible, terrible waste of space it would be. You know?
Okay. Should the government penalize people for unhealthy lifestyles?
And that's totally subjective. What's unhealthy?
That would be my question too. Yeah.
So I would say that's a big no.
Is there such thing as sexual perversion?
Yes. To me. Yeah. It's stuff that harms other people, right? It's stuff that results in the harm or exploitation of other people or other things, or it damages other beings. I think that's, I am absolutely not shaming anybody for their lifestyle. If you are in the lifestyle, I'm not shaming you at all. But those things are safe and sane and consensual, and they are, discussed and negotiated, and people are communicating openly, and it's enthusiastic. And so even though those things can be painful, there's still something that people are agreeing to and recognizing that the precious nature of having adventures like that and having experiences like that. But when we talk about perversion, when we talk about predatory behavior, we're talking about things that are designed, I think, to break rather than to build. So yeah.
Okay. Just a couple more, Peach. Should we be able to live? Should people have the right to live in any country they wish?
Yeah, I think so.
Why?
I mean, who gets to tell you what okay, so I have an issue with borders as it is. I feel like I'm going to be offensive when I answer some of these questions, but I think the idea that you can own land or that you can own water or that you can where does that end? You know what I mean? Are you going to start owning air and stars? I think that we're lucky to be here, and you should be able to go wherever you like,
Yeah. Hey, Peach, I'm not going to hold you. This is heading into the fucked up sections of the questions.
Why I got to get the fucked up sections? This is anti-black. It's anti-black.
Whoo, Peach. Number
What?
71 is a doozy.
What is 71?
Is it wrong to grow brain dead babies to harvest their organs?
Wrong. Well, I mean, do you want like a Phil Bro answer?
It's your answer. It's your answer.
Okay. Well, I think my first question would then be, why are we calling this imaginary being a baby, right? That's humanizing it. And if you are growing something, say from stem cells or something like that, specifically and only to harvest it, you would not be dealing with something that you saw as human. And so I think that would probably be my first concern. I'm not able to see fetuses or babies or children as anything other than human, regardless of their function or disability or something like that. And so I would say that for me, it is objectively wrong.
Okay. Should we fear death?
Oh, no. No.
Why not?
I think, like, I don't know if you hear me often, but I talk about having adventures all the time. And I really, truly do believe that there is some sort of an adventure that none of us know about. And I don't know what it's going to be. You know, like we could all wake up in like Atlantic City, but like forever. But also like it's a very smelly version of Atlantic City. But they have the best sandwiches you've ever had in your life. You don't know what it's going to be. And so like, I think just having a hope is a bigger, it's a bigger job and it's a bigger responsibility and it's more beautiful than resting in fear, like choosing hope. So I hope that after we leave here, we go somewhere and there's nothing to be afraid of when you can hope, you know?
Okay. Okay. Why is there something rather than nothing?
Why is there something
rather than nothing?
Oh, I think that that's like a people thing. That's a people thing. Like, so I just got done talking about Abrahamic religions, but I will say like the biggest part of the like Judaism and Christianity and all of it is that it all starts out with nothing. The idea that there was nothing and then all of a sudden the magic being created something, right? And automatically we're taught that something is better than nothing. We don't even know what the nothing was, but we're conditioned to accept that. We must have something. And so I think that it's just part of being a person, just part of the way that we navigate life.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I was gonna, keep going, but like this section is kind of like, now I just want you to answer this question for me personally, because I need help with this section. What is time?
Oh, you don't want to hear my answer.
I do, because I know what time is, but I feel like I'm alone in what time is.
Yeah, I think time is a heartbeat, and I think time is a thought, and time is a hug, and time is kissing, and time is fighting with your spouse. I think time is looking at your dog and wishing that he could talk. I think time is so much more than what we give it, because we just think it's numbers on a watch or days on a calendar. But it's so much more than that. Time is every hair that grows out of your head.
So time is the
who we
friends
are.
that we made along the way.
Yeah, it is you know what? You should have played the piano music while I was answering that question.
I got a
the gentle
follow-up to
piano
it
music.
because I'm still trying to figure this out. Where did it go? Oh, how does time flow and how fast does it flow?
How does time flow? I think that I truly do believe, I'm not messing around with you. I don't think it's as cut and dry as like our watches click and tell you the seconds and minutes.
It's not, Peach.
Because
it's not.
Yeah, because you can make it go faster. You can make it go slower. And also, depending upon where you are in life, time itself is faster or slower. Just like, remember when you were a kid in like grade school and like your whole day seemed like it took a week just to get through one day. And now as an adult, you look up and you're like, oh my God, it's 10 o'clock at night already.
That's
because the longer we live, the shorter it seems.
That's because time is a social construct.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it still is, it's a kind thing to do your very best you can to arrive at the places you tell people that you're going to arrive at a time you agreed upon, sure, but to say like it is this thing and it only passes this way, I don't believe that it's as linear as what we think it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 2 more questions, Peach.
I got you.
Can there be 2 different theories of the world, both true and both complete?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that there could be multiple. Like we don't know that. Like so. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. All my answers are so long. Let me shorten that one up. Yeah, because we don't know stuff and we can't see or hear everything.
Mm. Okay. Yeah. Last but not least, what is philosophy anyway?
I answered this a little bit earlier, but I will gladly say it again because I love philosophy. For me, philosophy is stretching your heart. It's pressing yourself to the edges of what you currently understand and trying to take a step beyond that over and over and over again. And sometimes you take a step and you're like, "Ugh, that feels weird." Mm. And that's where you're learning your own ethics, your own morals, your own boundaries, and your own way of viewing life, right? And I think it's one of the greatest adventures of all. I really do. I was recommending a book to Swan earlier, and I would recommend it to anyone who's interested in philosophy that deals with trying to find your way through the idea of morality without being impacted by religious dogma or consideration of religion at all. It's called After Virtue by Alistair McIntyre. And it is one of the most life-altering books I've ever read. The idea that, like, what if I don't have to consider my life through the lens of Jesus Christ or, the coming Messiah or whoever this new religious leader is or this sect or this religion? What if I was forced to find a way to navigate life without the input of religion, and how much wider that opens the landscape for you to travel and find you? Because I think that's also the meaning of life, is you being able to actually find you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah. Peach, I truly enjoyed that. I think that like overall, I think it's fun. It's fun to like hear the Q&A. It's fun to see people like process and like work. And me, I'm a little bit mischievous, so I like to like push people and like make them second guess themselves so they stretch even more. So, but I think it's like so necessary for us to challenge ourselves,
Yes. Yeah. It's true. I tell people all the time, like we're constantly looking for something to make our hearts race and get our adrenaline pumping. And you can find that in learning. You can find that in philosophy. You can find that in listening to each other. Like, this has been a really exciting evening for me.
It has
just
been
to be able
great.
to listen to everyone. You know what I mean? It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'll say this. I really appreciate you. You know, I appreciate you for who you are as a person. I appreciate you for what you represent, what you stand for, the spaces that you hold, what I've learned from you, just being able to spend time around you. But I think that your voice is so important, right? And so, like, it makes me feel like a ton of pride knowing that you come and hang out in our space, but two, that you were even willing to come up here and, you know, hang out with me on my silly panel for a while and put up with my nonsense. Your voice is one that needs to be amplified. And I'm just happy that you gave me an opportunity to share your voice with my community, with our community, because people have been going crazy over you all evening, Peach. And I think that's super necessary. And so I just appreciate you spending your time with us. I appreciate you educating. I appreciate you lending your reason, your logic, and just, you know, being you. So thank you for coming up here with us this evening.
Thank you for letting me be up here. I really appreciate you. I was super nervous, and I know the beginning was kind of touch and
You were
go.
nervous?
Oh yeah, I'm nervous.
Why?
Tana, I have generalized anxiety disorder. I don't know why I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why.
You're so
but you know
you're
what I
so
do know.
dope though, like all the time. That makes no sense.
You know what? I'm gonna ask you to do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and spread that rumor around on Facebook until people believe it.
I was just about to say I got you, but I ain't got the book of face.
Not on Facebook.
I don't even know how to get the code to get back on there. I'm telling you. And listen, Peach. When you make it out of ghetto, you don't always go back. So I don't know if I can go back to that hood. I can go to a lot of hoods. I don't know if I can go to that hood.
Say, I didn't forget where I came from, but I don't need a reminder.
What did Andre 3 Stacks say? Ain't a hood, but from the hood. I mean, there's that, you know.
Listen. Well, I appreciate you always being encouraging and so kind to me. I do. It's very nerve-wracking for me to speak in public. And I was telling Swan, like in my live, I'll usually have between 50 or 100 people in there. And that, like, the more people, I'm like, oh my God, it's 100 people. I'm so nervous and my heart's racing. And I had no idea. Like when I came, and there were I stopped looking at my phone at certain times because I was just like, I am going to have a conniption. So I just wanted to, before we go, I thank you. And to every single mod, because I saw some of the comments that you guys had to mute and block to keep me safe. I wish that I had better words to express how grateful I am for you.
Yeah, let me wait. I'm sorry. I gotta cut you off. You're part of our community. That's what we do. We when I say we're a safe and friendly community, that's not lip service. Like that's what we do here, and it's driven by the people that are the backbone of our community. It's driven by Kay. It's driven by management. It's driven by the mods. And the people that share space with us. And that's why I'm so hard on the chat at times of making sure that we don't do harmful things or perpetuate harm or even let people come into our space and perpetuate harm, because we protect each other. And so you're part of our community. So we're going to protect you.
Thank you so much. I wish I had better words, but I think I'm tapped out of words.
It's all good. It's late.
Oh, before I let you go, I wanted to tell you really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look who's stuck in the porthole now. Are you still hungry? Well, say hello to my little friends. What? I did that voice in my live the other day, and everybody's like, "You sound like the shrimp from Shark's Tale," and I was like, "I don't even know what that is," and so I had to go one of my followers donated $5 to me so that I would rent it, and it is the greatest thing I have ever seen in my life. My sister had a baby.
Wait, but did you mix it with Scarface?
Well, that's what he says. He does at the very end. He says, look, I'm stuck in the porthole. Are you still hungry? Well, say hello to my little friends. And then all of the shrimps come out and like attack the shark's face. It is wonderful. That movie is ridiculous. I wish I could tell you how much I loved it.
Oh my God. That made my neck hurt. Oh my God.
Buddy, it's time for you to go to sleep. Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much for letting me hang out tonight. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you.
Thank you, Peach. I truly mean it. I really appreciate the time, energy, and effort you lent us tonight. So thank you.
Absolutely. Good night, buddy. I'm going to drop down.
Yeah.
So you can say bye. And are you going to play the music?
Yeah, I got fussed at last night. The wife was like, "Why are you playing with the people? Play the music." So
you better play the music.
I know.
Okay. Well, thank you, my friend, and I will talk to you very soon. Everybody, good night. Take care, and please do something nice for yourself. And remember that it's because you deserve nice things. Okay.
Absolutely. Bye. Debbie's in the chat for Peach, guys. That was awesome. that was absolutely awesome. You know, like there's every once in a while you come across certain people and like they're just good people, right? Not perfect people, but good people. And I think it's really important to, whenever you come across good people, to nurture those friendships, relationships, whatever. And Peach is just a good person. So I thoroughly enjoy Peach. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. And we will be back tomorrow morning for some sparring. You know, all the good. I don't know. Listen. I don't know. I don't know what it is. People, for some reason, like, I don't, for some reason, people like me. And I think it's just because all of you are weird. Like, if you like me, then you're weird. Like, that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Like, that has to be the answer. If you're someone that likes me, you're a weirdo. That's the only thing that makes sense in my mind. None of it makes sense. None of this makes sense to me. That it makes no sense that you guys want to come and hang out with me for any reason. So, anyway, we're going to get out of here. We're going to get out of here. We will be back in the morning for some sparring. And then tomorrow is the last night of the panel discussion. Now, guys, I need everybody locked in for tomorrow. If you didn't get in tonight, then we're going to try to get you in tomorrow, but locked in for tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to make America think again. You guys know what we do on night 4. The last nights on Late Nights with Santana, we take the time to come up with solutions. So be ready. No complaints tomorrow. We're not complaining. We're not fussing. We're not worrying. Tomorrow, we fix the problem. Are we good? Are you guys locked in? Do you understand the assignment? I need to make sure everyone understands the assignment. Tomorrow, when you get up here, we're coming with solutions. Yes, yes. Can we end with the question for Santana for next time? What question? Peach, pick a number 1 through 101. $45. Of course, 45. 45. Why think there are universal human? The universe. I've already answered that one. We did the universal human rights. Why think they're I can answer, but somebody else already answered. You want to pick another one, Peach? 58, Thomas Davis. What is a person? Is it the mind or the body? I think the person's the mind, right? Because your body's ever changing. And as long as your mind is intact, you can continue to perpetuate the idea of the person that you are. And so your body may fail in certain aspects, but your mind is the thing that endures. So even when you're young, your personality shows through your mind when you're limited physically. And then even when you're older, same thing, right? But your mind is always the consistent piece. And that's why when you see people who, when they have like Alzheimer's or things along those lines, they can physically still be there, but when their mind isn't the same, then they shift who they are as a person. So I think it's the mind. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. Yes. I'm not pontificating. I'm getting off. All right. We got to go.
Yeah, this ain't your regular panel. Nah, we speak the truth. Late nights with Santana and Mama Jones watching. Better keep it clean. Let's go. Late nights, truth in the convo. Everybody get a seat at the table. From the block to the books, we mindful. No screaming, just dreams and the Bible. One mic, one voice, we build bridges from the heart of the hood to the world's big issues. Politics, pay, different cultures, but the real ones listen before they rebuttal. Late nights with Santana. Yeah. Mama Jones watching, so keep it grown. Ain't about flexing, it's a purpose zone. Santana hold it steady when it might get hot, but we ain't here to fight, we here to connect the dots. Yeah, late nights.
Hey, W's in the chat for Sharon. Sharon sent a $1.99 super chat to say, you are loved, Santana. Thank you for everything. Sharon, seriously, thank you. You guys don't understand how much your words of encouragement means to me. The fact that, like, literally, I know I say this all the time, but I really do mean it. You guys make this easy to do. Even when it sucks, and sometimes it really does suck, you guys make it worth it through, like, everything. Through the trolls, through the races, through the crash outs, through, like, the videos. It takes forever to make videos. I got to go research stuff, and I'm just like, I'd rather be eating pizza playing video games, but you guys make it all worth it. So I appreciate you guys. I do. All right. We're going to get out of here. We'll be back in the morning. We're going to get some debates and late nights again tomorrow. All right, guys. Let's do it. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all the gifts, the taps, the likes, the love. Thank you all for showing Peach the appreciation that they deserve. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for being you. I love you all, and I'll see you all tomorrow. And as always, peace.